Strap in, buckle up.
Well, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to round 4 of Drift Masters 2026. We are live from Finland at the Ahvenisto Race Circuit, smack bang a few miles away from the centre of Finland. My name is Ian Waddington. I'm joined by my very good friend Jacob Gettins. Jacob, a brand new track on the calendar, something that we always get super excited about.
Yeah, anytime we get to go to Finland, I mean, it's incredible. And in case anybody's wondering, I do love Finland. This place is amazing. The fans are incredible. It's beautiful everywhere you go. It's amazing.
It certainly is. Well, this is how the season kicked off. We kicked it off in Italy, where Conor Shanahan took the win. We quickly moved it over to Spain, where Peter Wieniec took the win. Then we went to we went to Mondello Park in Ireland, where Paweł Korpolinski took the win. We're here in Finland this weekend, where the winner will be decided tomorrow evening. Next, we move on to Riga, baby. It's Latvia before we go to the Iron City, Ferropolis in Germany. And then all roads lead to the final, the Red Bull Drift Masters final in Warsaw in Poland, where we fill the stadium at the PGA Narodowy with 55,000 people. But this is how it went down at round 3 in Mondello Park, because there were some huge upsets.
Massive upsets. And I mean, really, that's what that entire event felt like, is these, you know, I would say young Irish drivers. Yeah, Dave's still young at heart, coming through and just taking out some of the best to ever do it. Ultimately, it ended up being Paweł Korpolinski. It's so amazing to see him make that rise to the top step. I mean, the progression we've seen out of him throughout his entire career has been absolutely insane.
It certainly has, yeah. And the young superstar from Ireland, Conor Falvey, took down some heavy hitters. Not only did he take down a championship contender in Peter Wieniec, he also took down his idol, a man that he's looked up to for many, many years in James Dean. But Conor Falvey, unfortunately, just couldn't take down the one and only Paweł Korpolinski. And Korpolinski finally, Jacob, after many years of trying, finally stood on the top step of a podium, and he now leads the championship as we head into round 4.
Yeah, and I mean, really, now it just means that Conor Falvey's got that last step to make. He's had such an incredible career in such a short period of time. One more thing eludes him, but we'll see if he can make it happen this weekend.
Yeah, and this is what the driver's standings look like at the moment before qualifying kicks off here at round 4 at Ahvenisto. Of course, as we just said, Paweł Korpolinski leads the points, 223. Only 4 points separate him and the young man from Ireland, Conor Shanahan. James Dean quickly chases down Shanahan as well before we move in to the rest of this championship standings. You can see Jack Shanahan just dropping out of the top 10 after an unsuccessful round in Mondello Park.
Yeah, and Lauri Heinonen, I mean, 14th, that's not a spot he's used to being in, and neither is the car he's in, but we're going to get to that. That's going to be fun.
Well, we're not alone this weekend, because we are joined by the one and only, the very beautiful Jane Holzer. Jane, over to you.
Hello. My name is Jane Holzer, and I'll be bringing you all the action from this incredible weekend. We are here in Ahvenisto Race Circuit, a brand new addition to this year's calendar. This is a fast and demanding circuit surrounded by beautiful nature, and it's known for its incredible elevation changes. This one-of-a-kind layout was designed by the one and only Finnish drift driver Juha Rintanen. We will have 10 Finnish drivers on the grid this weekend, so the big question is, can one of them take a win here on home soil? But before we kick the action, let's go and listen out what our drivers has to say about Ahvenisto Race Circuit.
It's a brand new track for 95% of the grid. Really interesting track, a lot of elevation, a lot of challenges, especially even towards the end of the track. It's technical, it's fast, it has a bit of everything, so you need to be very sharp and on point, but we're ready to give it all.
Finland, it's new track, it's in the end amazing track. I was a little bit stressed before, but after one practice we saw that the feeling of this track is really nice, and the elevation is huge. We go like blind corner, but I enjoy this track and I have a lot of fun driving here.
Yeah, it's really tricky. There's lots of uphill and downhill, so it's a crazy track, but I really enjoy the challenge of it.
Really hard track. It's going to test us. Really difficult, really hard to find the last 5%. I think it's going to be big bold stuff this weekend. You're going to have to push to the limit, and if you want to win, you're going to have to really find the maximum of everything.
All right, we're going to see who's going to take the biggest risk for the perfect line. I'm so excited to get to qualifying to start it. Ian, Jacob, are you guys excited?
Of course we are, Jane.
Super.
We're always excited. It's a brand new circuit, and me and Jacob absolutely thrive and love to see our drivers tested at a brand new circuit. Well, this is the weekend schedule. Qualifying kicks off right now in just a few moments' time. Before tomorrow, exclusively on Red Bull TV, we kick off our top 32 at 11:45 a.m. local time, and top 16, the big show, at 3:20 p.m. local time. So if you are not in Finland, make sure you check your timings, because we won't be late. We'll be definitely on time, and we are almost ready, Jacob. I'm excited. I'm nervous. And I'm intrigued to see how these drivers take this track.
Yeah, I'm super, super pumped. I mean, this track is it's incredible. It has everything you want in an incredible circuit. And let's take a quick tour around. I mean, you come through the start line, it's a big run-up. Drivers hitting over 120 kilometers an hour. Heard a few might got to 130.
Yep.
Big initiation there. Judges don't want you to lose any speed as you get through zone 1, then inner zone 2. You're going to take a nice wide line up that big hill to outer zone 3, and then you start to come down to 4, and the engine is unloading at this point. You're making a ton of speed through 5, and then sling that car sideways across the wall through 6, catch the inside at 7, and then you've got a bit of a long section to get the car settled in for that outside zone 8 across the line, over a fun little bump too. It has everything. It's got elevation, long zones, short zones, wall runs, everything that we want in a great track.
It certainly does. It really has got everything that we expect to see at a drift track. These are the qualifying rules. It's 2 runs of qualifying, the best run counts. Top 32 drivers advance to finals on Sunday, up to 8 championship points for the best 8 qualifiers. So you're inside that top 8, you're already gaining points. And for our championship contenders who are up that thick end, Conor Shanahan could, in theory, jump back to leading the championship today after qualifying if everything goes to plan.
Yeah, but I mean, there's going to be a lot of shuffling. Those points are so needed. The way that this championship fight is going right now, every single point is going to be what you need. And this is our qualifying start list. Chrissy Alto, very excited to see her out here, driver. I know I've called a few of her runs over the years. It's just awesome to see, and a lot of Finnish drivers. Yeah,
we have a whole host of wildcards that will be coming up first in qualifying. Before we get into the usual suspects in the championship, as we can see rolling through now to get to the thick end of the championship, Marco Zaccaril down there in 24th said that he changed the engine and the setup on the car just for this track this weekend. So excited to see how he gets on. As we say, Jack Shanahan down there outside in 11th position. Before we get into the top 10, move it through, you can see Nasser Al-Habali having a real good run this season, back in Drift Masters for a full season in 2026, before the 2 at the top end of the championship will go into a full-blown fist fight to see who will lead the championship after this weekend. Well, the crazy Finnish drift fans are ready. We are certainly ready. Ladies and gentlemen, strap in, buckle up. It's time for qualifying. Well, there's no time to mess around, because we are going to kick things off straight away here at round 4. Ahvenisto Race Circuit awaits the first scream of a car around it, Jacob, for the first ever qualifying session of Drift Masters here. And it's going to be Chrissy Alto.
Yeah, very, very excited to see what she's able to put down here. And a driver that's just gotten better and better with every event she's gone through.
She certainly has. Well, she comes off the line. BMW E36 with a Chevrolet V8 underneath the bonnet, 6-litre V8 turbo, making 850 horsepower as she now stands on the accelerator up to the top of the hill. Now, this is where all the speed is gained as she comes down the hill, picks up that inner zone, washes wide. Now, wheel on the curb is allowed by the judges. 3 wheels over the white line or over the edge of the circuit will be a 0, so keep that in mind as she flicks that car to angle, stands on it. Now that wall isn't to be run, because that white line is the edge of the track, so judges will be taking a look at that. But a clean first pass of the circuit, Jacob.
Yeah, really, really clean. A couple of spots to clean up, but I mean, nothing all that major. It's a really good run, getting things kicked off here with Chrissy Alto. I think the big displacement cars are going to have a little bit of an advantage here. So we're having the 6-litre V8 with a turbo. It's a good mix of both worlds. That down low grunt that you get coming up the hill is really needed. This is one of those events too where there's so much strain on the engines going up that hill, and I think engine setup and how you lay out the boost map and everything else is going to be really critical to get that really nice onboard shot. I like that angle. Yeah. Kind of looking over and you can see all the controls there. So, yeah, for the first run, I mean, the nerves of being the first driver out has to be immense.
Yeah, it certainly does. Chrissy Alto, though, I will say, in practice, looked very, very calm and collected and wasn't too stressed. She said it doesn't feel like Drift Masters because we're so close to home.
Fair enough, yeah. Not far away.
So we wait for that score to drop in onto the screen for Chrissy Alto on her first qualifying run. As we can see, Paulius Perkio from Finland waits for his first qualifying run of the day, a B58 900 horsepower BMW E36. And
he was ready to go there.
He was ready to go. The anti-lag was firing and had to back out of it on the start line. So it does look like our start line marshal Martin will wait till he's given the all clear to send Paulius off the line.
think we were just waiting on that last score to get rolling in there, but.
So yeah, score's going to be dropping in on your screen any moment now for Chrissy Alto's first qualifying run. And then we will be on with Paulus Pacchio. There we go. 78.5 for Chrissy Alto. And a nice score on the ball. We did a little bit of our usual guesstimations earlier, should we say, Jacob?
I like that, yeah.
Yeah, and we were having a chat. Judges weren't giving us too much, but we were saying there could be some big scores in qualifying today.
Yeah, and for Palias, this could be it as well. Finished champion in 2025, Chicago Drift winner 2025 as well. So, I mean, that's high praise from a country with this kind of pedigree driving.
It certainly is. Well, he comes off the line and through the gears as he flicks that BMW E36 2-angle. That B58 screams, nice line. Trying to get that bumper as close as he can to the arm coat on initiation, right to the edge of the circuit. Good line. You see him in the car, absolutely dialed in and focused, looking for outside zone 5 before he flicks that car to 6. And you can see, unloads the car, bangs the back off the wall. Now flicks it down to that final outside zone, left foot locked as he gets it across the line.
That zone 8 was really nice. Unfortunately, they're going to need a little bit of body work.
Yeah, there's been a bit of that today.
Yeah, we've lost a couple of rear ends, a couple of front ends as well. Really good on initiation, gets that car to angle, coming up the hill, everything loading up on it, but seems very steady. A couple of small little tweaks of the angle, but that is really nice line all the way through there. Has to pull a little bit of angle out of the car, getting down the hill, and then catches that wall late. I will say, if he didn't catch that wall, I think he would have shot a little bit further down track.
What I took away from that wall run was, yeah, it was spectacular, but watch the front wheels of the car. No correction after he hit it.
Yeah.
He hit the wall and just kept going.
Yeah.
It was like, it completely didn't affect him. And to be honest, if you were chasing him, yeah, the tailgate would have flown off and you may have gone, hey, whoa, what the? But it didn't really affect too much. Look at this.
Yeah.
That is a decel zone before and just after. He hits the
wall on it,
and he's back on it straight away.
Yeah, it didn't really affect anything. Knocked all the rubber loose from the rear end of the car, and gonna have a bit of a bodywork bill when this is all wrapped up. But that's solid. That's a lot of commitment.
Well, we'll see if he's rewarded for that commitment by our judges. Our judges this weekend, and as always, David Kalas, Tormo Levimagi, Rasmo Rios, and Chris Witowski, our fourth judge on our EVS replay.
Maybe the hardest working judge, having to do all the replays and stuff.
Chris, yeah. He's got his eyes on like 16 monitors at the moment.
It's crazy what he's got on the go there. Yeah.
Yeah, so Chris giving our judges all of the replays. If he sees anything, he'll alert the judges and show them on their own replay system. Me and Jacob also have that monitor in front of us so we can see what the judges are seeing. And you can see our beautiful paddock down there inside the circuit.
So
very unique, and I was quite excited to see how this was going to be laid out before we arrived. And it just works perfectly. A 91.7. Wow.
Well
and
deserved.
That is a huge score from our wildcard driver, the man who won the Chicago Drift in 2025. We go back on the line to Kim Bjorklund from Finland, from Vasa. BMW E46 N50 Turbo, 750 horsepower. Comes off the line and through the gears. What can this wildcard driver do? And, second place in the Finnish Drifting Championship in 2025. Nice line, nice initiation. Oh, a little wide there. Just drops a wheel over the edge of the circuit, but stays in it nevertheless, as he now comes down the hill, picks up outside zone 5, flicks the car towards the wall. A little dab with the handbrake, still back on it though, once again, carrying that momentum and that speed. Big angle, wheel over the edge of the circuit, runs the wall and across the line.
Yeah, I think that's important. We touched on it a little bit earlier, but for zone 8, you're not actually getting all the way.
It's not a wall run.
Yeah. I mean, it is for a couple of drivers. I mean, Jaakko Jula, it's going to be a wall run.
Depends how long your car is.
Yeah, there is a bit of an edge of the track there. And, I mean, for Kim, there was a couple of spots where a wheel was dipped. The rest of it is looking good, though. A lot of drivers doing a great job coming through 1, 2, and 3 and just keeping that line extended. You can see just how stable he is in the car. Nice handbrake pull, just feeding that wheel up. Man, that looks so smooth. And here we go. This is a beautiful angle. You can really tell how deep they're able to get through the zone on that section of it. And you have to fulfill that entire thing because you're going to miss the next inside clip if not. But you can see that rear wheel already dipping off track coming into the zone. So a few points be taken off the score online for that. We'll see how the judges play this one up. 91.7 on the second run. I mean, top Finnish driver in 2025. This makes sense.
Exactly that. You expect him to come out here swinging, especially as a wild card. An 85 drops on the board for Kim, and sure he will be happy with that first qualifying run. We expect some big scores in qualifying today as we go back on the line to a man that we know all too well. Ville Kaukonen sits on the line in a brand new car for 2026, BMW M2 G87 2JZ underneath the bonnet, making 666 horsepower as he flicks that car to angle, screaming at 2JZ, awakens as he now climbs up the hill looking for those outside zones. A very good job getting outside zone 4 and inner 5. Oh, a little upset there. Got that car flicked to angle, didn't react the way he thought it was going to react. Slowing once again as he does on big angle, stands on the throttle. And a few mistakes creeping in there for Ville Kaukonen.
Yeah, a few, just maybe not as much commitment in a lot of these zones, but a lot of drivers will take a bit of a banker lap on this. They'll throw down something nice and kind of see where they sit, and then possibly come back and drive a little bit harder. But for Ville, just few zones looked really, really good, but some hesitation here and there. I mean, that inside clip's looking pretty good.
Yeah.
Say maybe my favorite livery on the grid this weekend too. I always like the character livery.
You certainly can't miss it.
No, you can't. You can't. I mean, yeah, Drift Panda. But yeah, it's just like nothing bad, but just kind of dipping a wheel here, a little bit inside on a few spots. And as we know with Drift Masters competition, those few little things, those tiddly little bits is going to be a problem when it comes to the score.
Yeah, exactly that. And the judges will be looking for the very fine line. Remember, we're on that curve very aggressive, and you can see where the track meets the curb there. David Kalas was saying that getting a wheel in that pocket, if you like, can be very unsettling because it's very bumpy there. So you're either on the curb or you're on the track itself.
And it's not a massive deduction.
No, it's 1 point.
Yeah, but it could be enough, right? Especially as we'll keep you up to date on where the bubble ends up being. But I mean, we've often seen half a point, quarter of a point, been everything.
Yeah, look at that, 77.2 for Ville Kaukonen. Kind of waited there to see the score. There's a big screen right on the track exit, and he would be waiting to see. He would have known himself inside the car. As we go back on the line to Greg Murillo, driver from Estonia, from Tallinn, BMW Eurofighter S50 underneath the bonnet, 860 horsepower. A lot of hype around this young man online recently. What can he do this weekend as he flirts with danger, putting the back end of that carbon Kevlar BMW towards the wall. Heavy on the left foot brake though, as he crept up the hill now. Opens up the throttle, trying to use all of the speed as he fires that car to angle. Tailgate tickles the wall as he now looks for that final outside zone. Flicks the car back once again. A little dab and hammering in the wall again. As Greg Murillo finishes up the run, but was it a complete run? I heard you there, Jacob. You spotted that straight away.
Yeah. The finish line's kind of moved around a little bit this weekend, and I'm curious how the judges are going to see that last part of the track, just because, I mean, that is still in drift, but straightening out for sure. Greg, definitely blowing up on the internet recently, making some waves. Driving here, I mean, it's fast, it's aggressive, it's strange that, like, I don't know if it's drivers that their style matches a Eurofighter, or you drive a Eurofighter and then that becomes your style. But that super fast, super aggressive feeling that you see with those cars seems to be washing all over Greg throughout this run. Scrappy, to steal one of your terms, going a little bit deep through some zones. But
did you say scrappy? I don't know if I'd say. Yeah, I don't know if I'd say scrappy. I'd say it was he was so committed.
Yeah.
And he was going for the big impact run on the first run.
Yeah, that's fair. But I mean, just overshooting on zone 8, that's going to be a good chunk of points lost through that section.
But I mean, look back at that slow-mo shot there from the incredible team at Red Bull TV. The wheel was on the line.
Okay. I'd have to see.
Yeah, I mean,
let's see what the judges think. That's why we're not judges.
We're not judges. We are armchair critiques, should we say.
It looked like it's right into the wall to me. So we'll see. We'll let them tally up their points, and one of us will be right.
Well, there we go. 65, and judges not liking it as much as I was. It was a fun run for me. It was a run that I enjoyed watching. We're back on the line with Mads Andersen from Denmark in the M60 BMW V8 Turbo, 900 horsepower E92. As he comes off the line through the gears, Mads Andersen had a word with him earlier on. He said he was feeling confident and relaxed. He said long wait between practice and qualifying, so he said he was going to go for a nap. Now I wonder if he's woken up enough to throw down here, and it looks like he's absolutely dialed in the zone. Going to go a little wide there, but holds on to it as he flicks that BMW towards the wall. Now opens up the throttle once again, flicks it to angle, stands on the accelerator on that final outside zone, right to the edge of the circuit and across the line.
Really do love the way that engine sounds. That, the M60 is, it's such a unique engine. Not a lot of drivers going and developing something like this, but that with the big turbo seems to work well with them. Yeah, really, really good run. Coming through a bit too tight on that inside zone, so does it set him up okay for the rest of it? Coming down here, just seeming just a little aggressive through some of these sections. We'll see how that one works out for him. Not too crazy coming up to the wall, nothing, you know, too nuts, but still solid all the way through. But it is, I do think that we are going to see more runs in the 90s. I think that's almost a guarantee at this point.
Yeah.
At the threshold, I got a feeling is going to be...
Oh, don't do it.
No, you don't think so?
No.
Okay.
Don't ruin it for everyone.
That's where I'm at. It's just
Don't ruin
like,
the
it's a
surprise.
really good run.
Yeah.
But when you look at the pedigree of what we've seen in practice and what all these other drivers are doing, is it going to be enough? And I think that's the biggest thing. Now, everyone's getting 2 runs, so you might just throw that quick one down, see how it goes, and hopefully improve from there.
I think he's gone for a safe-ish.
Yeah. Yeah, as opposed to what Greg did earlier, which was like, I'm just going to not throw it. Yeah. Fair. 2 different strategies.
Yeah, you know, like, look, you're bouncing the car off the walls, you're losing points.
Yes.
Which is not what the judges wanted. There we go, an 82.7 for Matt Anderson as he pulls back into the paddock now. And a long wait for him to get back out for his second qualifying run. Later on this afternoon, as we go back on the line to our usual contenders in Drift Masters. First up will be Enver Haskasap at the bottom of the championship. Really would love a result here this weekend, and even to make it into top 32 would be a confidence booster from the man from Turkey. As he fires that car in at 2JZ at 1,000 horsepower, screams in the San Silvio S15 as he climbs up the hill, looks for the inner zone, picks it up beautifully as he now washes that car really wide. He goes wheel over and holds onto it as he flicks the car towards the wall. Oh, beautiful wall run there from Enver Haskasap. A lot of slowing though into that final outside zone, then snaps on the throttle. The judges won't like that.
Yeah, it was a really good run up until that last zone, and I mean, props to Enver for getting back out there. If you remember, back in Ireland, had a pretty monumental crash and was able to get back out. I know they've done a lot of testing on this vehicle as well. Dwayne actually took this car out in one of his last practice sessions yesterday just to check over a few things, and our knock on wood seems to be going well. But for Enver, just that last zone, he had a big handbrake pull before he went into it, trying to get that car woed up. Not sure if it was him offline or a little bit of concern, but we can hopefully take a look at it here throughout the rest of this drone shot. We'll watch this transition out. Oh, he's already, okay, so he's transitioned a bit too early.
Place,
and that's what ends up doing it. So that happens, but yeah, had to make a big correction to get that car back on track.
Yeah, and he doesn't really get on throttle in outside zone 8 till he's like halfway through.
Yeah.
At that point, I would say.
There's that spot on the rumble strip. You're gonna, in the car, you're gonna immediately know that you're up on it. You'll feel the back end of the car rise up, and you'll know when you're coming off of it. But trying to catch just on that edge, getting into the groove, the car has a tendency to kind of rock back and forth a little bit violently, and it can really mess things up. So you want to be just on the inside of that.
Yeah, certainly so. A 77.5 for Enver Haskasap will be a score on the board, but definitely one he'll be trying to improve on that second qualifying run as we go back on the line to Konstantin Sharenko from Ukraine, 2JZ Toyota GT86, 890 horsepower. Another man that's looking for a little redemption. And was so close to getting into the show at Mondello Park. Unfortunately knocked out of competition as he now fires through. Goes for the flick to angle. Big handbrake drag, slows that car down, doesn't really get as deep on outside zone 1 as he would like to have done. That's kind of upset the line a little bit, but stays in it nevertheless. Now works his way around the circuit as he flicks the car down the hill. Oh, and a tag on the wall. You can see it upset the front wheels as Sharenko gets back into it once again. The final outside zone coming up. Again, another big handbrake drag. Wheel over the edge of the circuit. Scrappy.
Yeah, scrappy. Yeah, correct. See, this is why it's your term, not mine. I feel for Konstantin because in practice, I got to watch him develop and get better with every run. I think the nerves of qualifying is super tough. I don't know what driver said it, but when we were chatting with him yesterday, he said there's 2 races. There is qualifying and then there's competition.
Yeah.
And because not everybody makes it in, you have to perform. And it just felt like he overthought so much of this run.
Yeah, look at this as he comes down the wall. A very shallow angle and then almost runs the side of the car along the wall. Judges will be looking at that. They are looking at that right now.
And then it pushes you wide for the inside clip. And then at that point, you got to drive in back towards outside zone 8. Like, it's tough. It is one of the spots on track where it can completely change the rest of the run if you mess up that section. It's also one of the highest commitment areas because you're backing it into the wall.
And it's terrifying.
Yeah, oh yeah.
There was drivers yesterday, they had a speed gun by that zone facing up the hill, and there was drivers coming down the hill at 140, 150 k's.
Yeah.
Because they're gaining speed. You know, they're full throttle coming down a hill.
Yeah.
And the drivers are saying, you flick the car towards the wall, it's kind of unnerving a little bit, but when it flows really well.
Yeah, you'll know. There's a few drivers that have that section really dialed.
There we go, a 76.5 drops in for Constantine. We move back to the start line for the man from Egypt. It is Karim Hani. Big Karim, as he's known online, 2JZ BMW G87 M2, 900 horsepower. Had a few issues with the car over the weekend, but looks like they've got that car up and running absolutely perfect now as he slams it into gear and comes off of the line for his first qualifying run. Through the gears, aggressive from Karim Hani as he puts that car right to the edge of the circuit. Nice initiation, stands on the throttle and unleashes all the power as the Egyptian now comes down and around, looking to gain all the speed as he starts to work his way down the hill. This is a beautiful run so far for Karim Hani. Big angle, back on the throttle once again to the edge of the circuit. Can he make this one work? He would love a result here in Finland this weekend, and that's absolutely stunning from the young man.
Wow, that's the qualifying run we were hoping to see from him kind of all season. Yeah, I mean, if you watch this international driving, he is absolutely incredible. But it's a big change coming over to Europe and having to run these tracks with these drivers. But look at Karim, such a good job. Now he's working that car all the way through that. You can see the left foot brake. He's pulling a little bit of angle in and out, but that's okay. He's trying to massage it without making a large adjustment. That's the type of adjustment you need to make when you're not exactly sure where you need to be. Look at this, preloads it a little bit, grabs the handbrake, couple of tugs there, down a gear, at least one. And then good transition there. I'd like to see him get that transition done with maybe just one handbrake pull.
Yeah.
I think you can really tell that second one because he's trying to extend the car back out. But one to settle it, and to me, that's okay. It's when you start to go 2 or 3 that means you're really having to adjust it. See, yeah. Other than that, though, I mean, if that's the only big correction I've got for him, that's not a bad run.
Yeah, I mean, I'd be brutally honest. From what I watched of Karim earlier on in practice, this is probably the best run he's done on the circuit.
Yeah, I agree with that. And that's, I mean, it's kind of what you want.
Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna do it in qualifying.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. Yeah.
And it's a huge confidence booster because you go into Sunday, into top 32, top 16, the main part of the show, if you're feeling that confident and then you know you can do it.
Yeah.
Practice didn't matter at that point.
Yeah. A few drivers saying, no, I'm not practicing. I'm going out to qualify.
Yeah.
And, I think for Karim, it's just been a slow build-up over the year, and it feels like it's starting to come together for him.
Well, like you say, we've been following this guy for many years now, driving in the Middle East, and he's been putting on a show and doing some really good stuff in the Middle East, and time to shine in Europe. And I think 3 rounds in now, he's even in himself, he's saying, look, I need to do something here and make a move.
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, he's got a great pedigree. I mean, yeah, Egyptian champion, Emirates Drift Championship. Like, there's a lot of things that he's accomplished already, but this is just the next thing.
An 81.7, so judges not liking it as much as us, Jacob, but we aren't the judges. We go back on the line to George Christoforou. Sits on the line, the man from Cyprus, BMW E82 1 Series, S50 turbo, 1100 horsepower, comes off the line and through the gears. And what can George Christoforou do as he flicks that car in big handbrake drag on initiation into outside zone 1, now stands on the accelerator, trying to use all of that power to get him around the circuit. Looks like a very fast run at the moment as he goes very wide there on the outside zone 5, down onto the wall. Stands on the accelerator looking for this final outside zone. Big flip across the circuit, back on the handbrake again, sets it up lovely though. He gets it across the line.
Yeah, for George, I really do think that the beginning of this run just didn't go the way that he planned. A few different ways you can enter into this track, but really you want to do it with as much power and as much speed as you possibly can. So here from zone 1, if we can pause this just as he comes through the zone. And unfortunately for George, it just, when you're grabbing the handbrake there, if you don't have it deep enough, it doesn't allow you to get out to the rest of the zone. So for George here coming up through the rest of this track, it's just kind of a bit offline as he started off from the beginning. So it's just honestly, it was just the entry for me where the big mistake was, and it sets you up kind of wrong for the rest of it.
It certainly did, because inside zone 2 as well, he was then on the like too far into it. It almost takes down the cone. There is a yellow cone there denoting where the zone is for drivers, a visual reference. And you could see on that, when he initiated, he scrubbed so much speed that he shot across onto the inside. Then he's having to drive the car back to the outside edge of the circuit. So he kind of triangulates it. We're going to see it here, Jacob. You've got to talk us through it.
Yeah, so we can pause it right as he gets into this first zone. And you can see that the wheels, I mean, he's already on the handbrake. He's already on just at the inside of the track. And then if we keep playing it, you'll be able to see that because of that line, it means he's not able to get as deep through the second zone. So he should be out here. And he's way too far on the inside of it, and that means, look at this wheel. Too far on that part of it, needs to come back a little bit more, and all of that starts with having an entry that is just off the mark on the first outside zone.
Yeah, it just lacks that commitment, and that commitment completely upsets the line, and that's going to be reflected in his score. And there you go, an 82.2. Did save some of it throughout the rest of it, but judges saying could have been more of a score if he would have committed to the initiation. We go back on the line to Wim van Oort from the Netherlands, and this had 206 S14A2JZ. 900 horsepower comes off the line and through the gears as the man from the Netherlands flicks this car in fourth place at a local competition here in Finland just a week ago. What can he do right now? Needs a run of luck, needs some fortune turned here at Drift Masters. A 0-0 at round 3 is not what he wants to do here in Finland as he fires that car to the final outside zone, stands on the throttle and gets it across the line. Wow.
Clint Van Aert's one of those drivers where if you were to silhouette the car, I could still tell you who
it is.
Yeah. I don't need to hear it. I don't need to see the livery. It could just be a box moving around on a blank map, and I'd still be able to tell you who's driving it. He's so aggressive. He likes his car very lively. Like, it moves around a lot. The suspension setup is amazing. Like, the team does such a great job. We were playing around yesterday and watching how much dynamic toe they have dialed into it. So the rear wheels kind of squeeze into the front every time he gets on throttle, and it launches him. But he's just so aggressive in his driving. Now, when it pays off in dividends. Unfortunately, there's a couple spots in here where it doesn't. That inside zone 7, unfortunately, too far on the inside of it. But man, just a nasty run. It was fun to watch.
Yeah, I mean, look, he had a lot of aggression and a lot of impact, and it was a very fast run of the circuit. But I think for me, there was just a few little bits that crept in there that were a bit, again, I don't want to keep using the same word, scrappy, but they were a little scrappy. He was too far in on some of the inner zones, and some of the movements through transition as well weren't really the cleanest.
7 to 8 was a little awkward, but I mean, yeah, I know. Look at it's the rubber off the front tire.
Look at the aggression though.
Look at picking up a wheel. You can already see the car coming out.
So gripped up.
Yeah, well, you can see even with that shot, as he gets on throttle, the car just wants to shoot forward. So a lot of bite in that car.
Yeah, see him down there at the edge of the circuit, waiting to see what his score is as he gets the onboard camera removed, and he's watching himself there on the big screen right at the edge of the track. We're going to see that score drop in for Clint Van Aert. Will it be enough? As we say, a 0-0 in Mondello Park.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to replicate that. It was a very bad weekend for Clint Van Aert.
Yeah, one I'm sure he's tired of us talking about.
Yeah, unfortunately. So there we go, down there in the paddock with Clint Van Aert. Maybe we'll get a reaction of him out of the car there. There we go, score drops in at an 87.5.
Second overall right now.
So yeah, not a bad job. And team is saying, look, it's a good first score on the board. We're going to see how that one plays out as we go back on the line. Simon Olsen from Norway. And Nissan Silvia S14.92 JZ, 1130 horsepower. The Dean M Sport built Nissan Silvia. As Simon Olsen fires that car in, very good line. Good job there on inside zone 2 as he fires down now. Looks to pick up inside zone 4, nice line, a little wobble there on the steering, a big flick across the circuit on the handbrake, back on the throttle he goes as he looks for that final outside zone. Simon Olsen now stands on it, awakens the beast as he pushes that car across the line.
First driver out on this track. He was the first in line for his run group, and I mean, a lot of progression made throughout the weekend for Simon Olsen. The young Norwegian has done a great job of adapting to this vehicle. Obviously last year, being a wild card, came out absolutely swinging. I think it's now being in the season full time, the mentality changes a little bit, but he's really come to terms with this vehicle and the way the competition is run too. And man, that's such a snap. Now, I would have liked to see him a little bit closer to the wall through there.
Yeah.
But obviously, feeling comfortable in the car. You don't make a transition like that towards the wall if you're not comfy in how the car is operating. So a few spots where he's just got to get a bit deeper into it. But yeah, really, really not bad. There he is.
That's a cool shot.
Super, super cool shot.
Yeah.
You can see it and you can see too where the driver's looking, how far ahead they look.
Yeah, and where they're looking on the circuit as well, because he would have been looking for the inside zone 7, trying to work out where he is. Is he in the right line?
Yeah.
And like you say, I think even he would have been, would like to have been a little closer to the wall there on that outside zone as he makes his way back into the James Dean Motorsports paddock area. Score drops in, an 88.2, moves himself into second position at the moment. He'll be very happy with that. As we go back on the line to Juha Puutalasko from Finland, a local man, just 300 kilometers away, BMW U92, 2JZ 900 horsepower. Said had some issues with the car. The dry sump oil feed was leaking this morning. Then they had a clutch issue, but it looks like they're back out working now. Big lockup. Wow.
Oh, that's a lot.
No. Oh, and he's going to jump out of the car. I think he just lost the engine.
Oh, no. Good call, making sure. There's a little bit. Oh, man.
And after heartbreak all day as well, and he was one of the first people to hit the wall in practice. We see him being recovered yesterday, Jacob, but now we had a full day of practice here at Drift Masters. You probably see some of our highlights on social media. He was recovered off circuit. Big impact on the wall, but said there was no damage on the car. He said it was more cosmetic than anything. He said, but then we had a few little issues creeping in to the car this morning in the first practice session of the day. And I think that engine's just let go, and I think that will be the end of the weekend for a man that said that he was loving the track and he really enjoyed himself. So we see this on the run-in. I wonder if we can see what happened. Oh, look at the smoke.
It went even before
initiation.
Yeah, we talked about it earlier in a little post that we had already lost 4 engines just in practice.
Yeah.
I think the load of going uphill, being halfway through the season, the amount of work and force you've got to put into this vehicle to get it to go up that hill, it's just not conducive to keeping engines together. But yeah, he lost that pretty quick. And fingers crossed we don't have a big spill or anything to deal with, but he knew pretty much immediately what had happened.
Yeah, certainly so. We can see him there trying to get out of the car in case it was on fire. A lot of smoke, a lot of oil in the engine bay as Juha jumps out of the car and now starts to process what's happened.
Yeah, and of course that is going to be an incomplete 0 across the board there for Juha Puutalasko. Gut-wrenching, to say the least.
Yeah, I mean, for a man that's... So yeah, we do have some oil down on the track, and Juha doing the right thing, pulling to the inside line away from where everyone else is driving. So...
in all my years,
a new technique.
I've never seen that before.
Do you know what? I was going to say, I've never seen that either.
No.
Never seen a watering can being used to dispense granules.
The upside is at least that section looks like it's offline.
Yeah.
Which is fantastic for all the other competitors. I mean, not fantastic for Juha, but yeah, watering can, that's a new one.
It's a very efficient way of distributing the granules.
Yes. Yeah, I like it. Yeah, tough go. I mean, fingers crossed we don't lose any more engines or major components, but I have a feeling this isn't the last time that we're going to see this. It is. It's just very stressful. You can hear the engines loading up as they go up the hill.
Well, look, while we are waiting for our clear up on track, maybe we'll take a little chat with Jane, who is with a Finnish drifting fan. Jane, it's over to you.
Ian and Jacob are always saying that crazy drifting Finnish fans, and I managed to grab one. Hi, Matti, how are you?
Hi, very good. Sun is almost shining, and atmosphere is going up, and everything looks fine.
It's absolutely great to be here. Finnish drift culture is a bit different from comparing the other countries, and for example, basically every Finnish driver has some kind of WhatsApp crews and everything, and you have all the merch on. How many WhatsApp crews are you in?
5. and I am in Lauris Oliko Jotain member and Juha Pöytälaakso's I So Happy member. Someone maybe remember a few years back that legendary lineup in Härmä, what Juha says, and then I am in few others Finnish drifters. Paulus Perkkiö, that is a rising star, and Toni Ojatalo, and also Joonas Haaponiemi.
Why do you think the the fan culture in Finland is so big?
That is our DNA. We are in rally people, like we say, and also every driver have very good social media and YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and when you joining in like a Oliko Jotain member, that makes you feel you are in the team. So that is very fun, and you see behind the scenes and everything like that.
It's so important to include the fans to the group. Hey, thank you so much. I'm so happy. Are you so happy?
Yeah, I am very happy.
Let's enjoy the day. Thank you, Matti.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
Well, there we go. Yeah, the crazy Finnish drift fans, and there they are.
There they are.
Up there supporting their local heroes. These guys are amazing. We've interacted with these guys so many times, and they're phenomenal.
Oh, they're great.
I love the support they have for their drivers, the commitment they have to follow them around, and we go to one of their favourite tracks in just over a week's time when we go to Riga, and these guys always show up for Riga.
Yeah, the body paint, everything. I mean, I've got some Finnish drifting fan stickers.
I thought you was going to say you've got some Finnish white and blue body paint for Riga.
I mean, I wouldn't be shocked if I show up that way. Yeah, I mean, I got to figure out how to get into these WhatsApp groups, though. I wonder what they know that we don't. I mean, they know how to pronounce the names better.
I'm already in too many group chats.
No, super cool to see. I already miss Power Park in some ways, but now seeing just how many fans we can pack in here is incredible.
Yeah,
I mean, we sold out. That's like it's it. That's if you want to come. I mean, you hope you have a ticket.
Yeah, we are sold out tomorrow. We are at full capacity today and tomorrow for the circuit, as we can see. If you're only just joining us, Juha Pöytälaakso, having his car recovered, losing the engine on initiation here on his first qualifying run. So we're guessing the end of the weekend for Juha. He isn't able now to change vehicle if you're unaware of the rules. He did cross the line for his first qualifying run in that car, so he can only come back in that car again, as we can see. Look at Jane down there, just catching up with some of the locals and seeing what is going on in the paddock. She's going to be bringing us all the action this weekend here from round 4, Ahvenisto Race Circuit in Finland. And a sad weekend, but the fans are phenomenal. They're phenomenal everywhere we go.
Yeah, they are. It's just, I feel like the Finnish fans are just notable. There's a little army of them everywhere we go.
Very passionate.
Very passionate.
Very
Love
passionate.
to see it. Yeah.
And they always show up as well for the final, the big final, the Pagay Narodowy in Warsaw, in Poland, Red Bull Drift Masters, where we were told a few secrets.
Some interesting things. I mean, I know tickets are on sale, and
they certainly are.
Mean, it's a big spot, but it's not like there's infinite amount of seats.
No, and we have pretty much sold that stadium out for 3 years in a row.
Yeah.
So if you've been thinking about coming to the final round of Drift Masters, don't forget to head on over, grab your tickets, because there's a few surprises coming, should we say.
Yeah, definitely a few surprises. There's a man who knows about a lost engine. Thankfully, no concrete currently in the block this time for another young Norwegian, but we'll see. We'll see how this all plays out for everybody today. I think a few drivers now on notice for how stressed everything has been, and hopefully we've got basically everybody that's got the ability to go out and pour. Kitty Leader on the track out there doing that right now, and a gigantic sweeper to hopefully help speed up our cleanup time.
Yeah, well, look, talking about stress, we're mid-season, we're at the halfway point, and Red Bull have put together a video. We're going to check out a little clip of it right now.
Drift Masters is probably the most exciting drift championship in the world.
Honestly, the highest level of drifting.
It's short, it's noisy, it's smoky, it's aggressive. There are some crashes.
Drift Masters to me is premium drift championship of the world, to be honest.
It's action, it's a show.
It's also an art of driving the car and controlling it.
There's so much style to it, there's so much flair, and it's very exciting to watch.
I'm very proud that I can be a part of it and a part of the journey that Drift Masters took.
Well, if you want to catch the full highlight of our midpoint of the season, you can head on over to Red Bull TV and check out that documentary. Phenomenal. I wasn't invited to be part of it, but I know you was, Jacob. Not that I'm sour or anything, you know.
No.
I'm just hinting to the crew behind the scenes, you know. Don't forget me.
It's super cool, and yeah, don't worry, we didn't forget you. It is an incredible video, and it's cool to see Kian in there.
Yes,
A man behind the scenes not a lot of people know about, but if it wasn't for that man, I don't think this show would be the way it is today.
Well, he does run the show here at Drift Masters. He sits in our OB truck just a few meters away from where we are, shouting directions at everybody on circuit. And thanks to Kian. And look at that, a piece of the cylinder block.
Oh, wow.
Of Juha Puutaleso's car. So
I was hoping it was just the line again.
Yeah, I was like, could this be a repair? But the look on Juha's face said no, and I think that kind of seals it for me.
Yeah,
unless they have a spare engine. Now there is a while, and we have seen teams do the unthinkable.
Incredible things have happened.
If he has an engine, it may be worth a try, Jacob.
I was going to say, I wonder if he's just got a spare car and we could sneakily swap them around.
No, that's breaking the rules.
Okay.
Sorry.
That's okay.
Sorry to be
I know. Someone's got to be the
bearer of bad news.
The party pooper.
Well, there we go. This is the warm-up area, and you can see a lot of tyres being shred down there, and you can see the grid queuing up in order for their next qualifying runs. You can see down there Jakob Kroll warming up the tyres on the back and the front of that Nissan Silvia S14.9, sporting that brand new livery for 2026, the Polishman. Very quiet and reserved, but when the visor goes down, this man is very, very talented. He was the top qualifier at the final round of Drift Masters 2025.
Yeah, I mean, a run to remember. It was incredible. Yeah. We watched it, and we're like trying to pick it apart. We're like, this is, phenomenal. The more we watch it, the better it gets. Yeah, Jakob Kroll, when he throws down, man, it is absolutely epic. I got a little bit of a chance to chat with him yesterday, and like, do you like the track? He goes, love it. That's dangerous for everyone else then.
Yeah. I mean, that's the feedback from every single driver on the paddock this weekend. Yeah. We speak to a lot of drivers over the course of the weekend, and every single driver has said they're loving it. They love the elevation, they love the change, they love the high speed of it, and they love the risk down onto the wall, putting that car onto the wall at high speed. As Jakob Kroll from Poland, from Lodz, now sits on the line, ready for his first qualifying run. Goes to shut the door and slams that car into gear. 920 horsepower, 2JZ unleashed off the line as he comes through the gears for his first qualifying run here at round 4, Ahvenisto Race Circuit in Finland. With initiation, puts that front wheel where it needs to be on inside zone 2. Now stands on the throttle, works his way to the crest of the hill, now down the other side as he really flicks that car across the track, flirts with the wall. That's absolutely beautiful from Jakob Kroll. Flicks it back once again for the final outside zone, little dab of the handbrake, tags the wall a little too heavy and across the line.
Oh, man, it really coming together
there,
for him.
Yeah.
It was there, and just a bit too aggressive into that wall, and had to get on a ton of left foot brake to hold that car around, but expert move there, fighting through a little bit of that kitty litter. I don't think it's, I mean, maybe he'll tell me different, but I don't think it affects things too much. I'm sure you're going to lose a little bit of front end bite, but does a great job through that inside clip. This looks great coming down the downhill. I mean, that's what makes a mistake in one zone so painful sometimes, because you're like, man, everything else was good. Actually, David Klaas a little bit earlier said this is one mistake racing.
Yeah.
And I never thought of it that way, that like everything can be perfect, but you make one small mistake and the entire weekend can be over for you.
Yeah, certainly can, yeah. And then that could be just a qualifying score or hitting the wall and knocking yourself completely out of competition.
Yeah, I mean, and a mistake like that could be the difference between making it into battles or not.
Yeah.
And it's tough. I do think it's still going to be a really decent score because of how well he did in every other part of the track, but there's going to be a pretty big deduction there in line, angle, and unfortunately style. So I think the hit that he took in 8 is going to be kind of massive to it.
Yeah, we're going to find out what that score is. It's going to drop onto our screen. It's going to be an 85 for Jakob Kroll. as we move it back to the start line to another finishman that's had a lot of heartbreak this weekend already as well. It's going to be Jarkko Juhla in that Toyota Chaser JZX 100. Lost the engine yesterday in practice, had 2 JZ fail, and the team awake all night, rebuilt, repaired, and got that car back up and running for competition today. 900 horsepower from this JZX 100 as he fires that car on an angle. Big aggression from Jarkko Juhla, and he'll want to do the Finnish fans proud right now as he stands on the accelerator, comes firing around the circuit. Big flick to the outside edge of the circuit, transitions that big chaser towards the wall, flexes the back end, and now dangerous, stands on the handbrake, gets back on the throttle once again and across the line.
He's going to have a small advantage through 8.
Yeah.
Just with how much overhang that car's got. Now, it also means, though, in a few other parts of the track, you're not really able to hide anything, and that's going to be outside zone 1. Does a good job, but not a great job. Like, it looks like the bumper is close to the wall, but the judges do want the wheels all the way out there. Now, through the rest of these zones, everything looks good. There he is, back on that left foot brake, coming through the inside zone. Coming down that hill, you can hear and feel that engine kind of letting up, a bit of a sigh of relief as the load comes off it coming through there. And then, man, really great job along the walled section. He is so focused on the throttle, clutch in, he grabbed some right brake as well, foot brake, while he's grabbing the handbrake. Let's see, would like to maybe see the angle come on a bit quicker through there. And when we talk about left foot brake, it literally means that his left foot is on the brake while he's still on the throttle. And a telltale sign is going to be some smoke popping from that front wheel, but a 93.7.
A 93.7, and the judges loved that from Jarkko Juhla. I was going to say there was a lot of that run that I really enjoyed, and there was a lot of it that stood out for me. Some very clean driving. We go back on the line to a young Irishman, a rookie for 2026. He is, of course, Harry Kerr in a 2 JZ BMW E46/F22, 850 horsepower. As Harry Kerr flicks that car in. Nice initiation, sets that car up lovely, and a lot of drivers saying that they adapted to the track really well, but it's just getting that track absolutely zoned in and ready for these big qualifying scores. Nice line, look at that from Harry Kerr. He stands on the throttle nice and early, little dab of the handbrake, dabs it again into outside zone 8, full throttle and across the line.
Well, we know what we know how a lot of the Finns are doing here, but now it's time to see how the Irish stack up, and this is this is an all-time battle, but I mean, really, I feel like drifting is in this place where it's like the Irish versus the Finnish versus the Polish, and all 3 countries are doing such an incredible job, but one of the youngest IDC Pro drivers coming out here, Harry Kerr, he's got a lot of weight on his shoulders.
He certainly does.
And his driving it's catching up with that pressure. He drives so well under pressure, and this run is a great testament of that. The qualifying scores are really good, but there's still some room for improvement. For Kerr, there wasn't anything major that I saw where I'm like, that's rough. He's out on all the zones. The transitions are nice and snappy. The car looks really stable. He's still quick. I feel like this is one of those runs where you watch it and you're like, there's nothing all that incredible about it, and often those are the ones that do really well.
Yeah, this is like a mirror image of Jarkko Juhla's run, if I'm honest.
Yeah,
it was there. There was no, I guess we say the impact. There was no real impact, and 86.2 judges not liking it as much.
I'm thinking, angle was the big one. Just losing a couple big points there.
Points in angle.
Yeah, where Jarkko, coming out to the wall, could really, really flung things out, and judges let me know less angle fluidity throughout. So get on that period, but Kevin Piscolti off the line.
Yeah, off the line. The Hungarian 2 JZ for a GR86 was the fastest man down the hill yesterday. What can he do right now? Is Kevin Piscolti, another driver, changing engine overnight for today's competition after they lost the engine in practice. Absolutely flying right now as that 2 JZ screams as he flies that GR86 down the hill. Picks up inside zone 7, looks for the final outside zone. Little dab of the handbrake, back on the throttle nice and early. As Kevin Piscolti across the line.
Yeah, maybe another spot with fluidity coming into 8. Just it feels like the judges really want as minimal handbrake as you can possibly do through any of these transitions. So going for a big initiation. They're using as much of the track as he possibly can, catching the inside of that zone onto a bit much, having to pull some angle out to stretch that car out to 3. Hopefully all things are good with that. You can see 4th gear, so it gives you a bit of an idea, and you can see that gives you an idea how much force is going through that car. Moving the magic arm. It's tough. I can't imagine the G-force climbing that climbing that section.
Coming over the top as well, yeah.
Yeah, and, honestly, the cameras do a pretty good job of showing you what it's like, but until you're here in person, you don't realize how much of a climb up it is through the first part. And then the downhill is actually further down than where you start at the beginning of the track. So
Yeah.
it's a lot.
So there we go, an 89 drops in for Kevin Pascoe. He puts him into third position at the moment. He'll be happy with that score, that's for sure, especially after yesterday's heartbreak as we go back on the line to another Irishman from Butlivan. Here's, of course, Alan Hines. It's Sylvia S15-2, JZ 900 horsepower. Stands that car into gear, ready to leave the line and wait for that green light. And he is all good to go. Young Irishman. Gearbox problems earlier on in practice. Had to have the gearbox out of the car. Looks like it's working fine now. Hines fires that car towards the Armco. No loss of speed there, that's for sure. As he puts the rear wheel right to the edge of the circuit. Alan Hines on an absolute flyer right now. Oh, a little check up there as he gets to outside zone 5, but makes it work for 6 as he goes full throttle now. Final outside zone, dials on the angle, picks up a wheel, stands on the accelerator again, takes the cones down and across the line.
Okay, here's the Alan Hines I've been looking for all year.
Wow.
This is it. If you've ever watched his sim drifting career, he was so good at flicking cars around and he was so precise with it, and really that is what I was hoping would come out in real life, and we're starting to see that right now. Alan Hines, really big initiation. It does mean that there's a few spots on track where the line's a bit lacking. You can see that inside zone, just not quite where he needs to be. But the speed of the transitions, the amount of angle, the drone even kind of got caught out by it. It's like, oh, I got to pick up the speed a little bit here. Alan Hines, that is big, big flick energy. Oh, just off.
So the cones there are there as a visual reference for the drivers. They're the same distance away from the edge of the circuit to the wall. As you can see, the wall tapers away for safety. The cones are there, so if that was still the wall, that would have been heavy contact.
It would have been a good contact, yeah.
So just bear in mind there.
See, just very, very small corrections with the front wheel. But watch him, steers a little bit more left to get that car to load up, and then just comes back across. But even still, his use of handbrake is pretty minimal. It's a little bit there, gets it locked up, and then right back on. So, love to see it.
Wow, 92.7 for Alan Hines, puts him into second position at the moment, and a very, very good score for the young Irishman as we move down to another Finnish driver on the start line, Timo Sunma now, and the BMW M2, M50 Turbo, 880 horsepower, gets himself comfy. That nervous little wriggle in the seat, Jacob.
Yeah, a little bit nervous. I mean, it's got to be more difficult in front of the home crowd.
Certainly so. So there we go. Just repainting that last outside zone. Drivers, we want to keep the track conditions as consistent as possible. So we will have spots of repainting.
Ooh, we're getting fun of the in-car camera angles. All right, boys, let's go.
There we go. Slams that car into gear. Builds up the anti-lag. It comes off the line and through the gears. As Timo Sunma now flicks that car to angle. He's dragging the handbrake, but nevertheless gets that car back on throttle again and works his way up the hill. Doing a good job so far as Sunma now picks up that inside zone. Oh, and again, a strange movement towards the outside zone, but very clean on the wall for Sunma as he flicks it to that final outside zone. On the throttle, on the foot brake, everything trying to keep it out the wall and across the line.
He made a correction in 5.
Yeah.
6 looked better, is what it felt like. And it's been interesting to see how much these drivers are struggling through a few different zones here. And I think it's just when we're watching here at this track, we don't often get to see this part of it.
No.
Through 1, 2, and 3, unless you climb all the way up the hill, and admittedly we're a little out of shape, so it's a tough climb for us to get all the way up there. So we weren't seeing as much of this through practice. Now the downhill section you can see pretty much everywhere. And it's been interesting to see how drivers are tackling that part of the track as we switch to that onboard and you get a bit of an idea of, 1, how beautiful the sky is, but 2, the handwork going on for Timo Sunma. And there it is, that correction we talked about in 5, kind of taking a bunch of angle out to throw the car, add more speed. It works out really well though. It means 6 and 7 look really, really good, and then the transition out to 8, back on throttle, solid through there.
Yeah, I think he was a little panicked there as he got to 8 though. You could see he was making adjustments, trying to keep that car on track, trying not to drop wheels over the edge of that white line, and trying not to hit that wall, because judge is saying if you are that far over and you are running the wall, you are losing points at that point.
Yeah, and rightfully so. I mean, that is off track at that point.
There we go, an 88.7 for Timo Sunma. So those few mistakes creeping in did knock some points off the score, but he'll take that homework away and revise and go back at it again for the second qualifying run.
The official Finnish drifting fans.
Yeah, you don't keep saying their names, otherwise they'll pop up at the door, Jacob. Here we go, back on the line. It's a Sadet next in that full carbon fiber BMW G87 2JZ, 1,000 horsepower. Comes off the line and through the gears. Looking good. Yesterday in practice, what's he got right now where it counts? So in qualifying, nice initiation. Gets that front wheel where it needs to be as he pushes that car right to the edge of the circuit. You can see him now drop back in for that inner zone, then back out once again for outside zone 5. Flicks the car, big angle down onto the wall. Outside zone 5, stands on the accelerator. Looks for the final outside zone. Very nice job on the final zone, on the foot brake and across the line.
Ooh, that did look really good.
Very good.
Only a few drivers have been able to pull off that, I wouldn't quite say backy, but definitely 90 degrees to the wall.
90 degrees to the wall, yeah.
Yeah, I think we're going to see a few more drivers go probably even bigger through that section, but everything looked really, really good. At no point was I like, oh man, you threw it all away here, or you made this big mistake there. Everything felt very stable. It didn't feel panicked. I mean, maybe a bit more angle through 5, but Morton made up for it in 6. Oh, great shot. We're going to see it here. Loads the car up, and we'll see. Does he get over 90? Oh, if he does, it's just barely. No, not quite.
No.
Yeah, drone never lies.
It does never
lie.
lie.
You cannot hide from the drone. And then coming through 8, nothing crazy. No, normally just a touch of left foot brake there at the end of it. That was it. Looks good.
It does look a very good run there for Ite Sadet. We await the score to drop in. That carbon fiber door flexing under this pure speed.
Yeah, no livery, just all carbon. I did say to him at the beginning of the year, I'm like, the all carbon is kind of a flex.
Yeah.
I'm all right with it. Maybe some headlights, though. Can we get you some headlights?
You can buy them.
No, I'm good.
Well, there we go. Score drops in an 87.7 for Ite Sadet as he makes his way back into the paddock, and he'll await his second qualifying run as we go back on the line to Dave Egan from Ireland. Toyota Supra GR A90 2JZ, 925 horsepower. Off the line through the gears, the man who took down Connor Shanahan in top 32 at round 3. What do you do right now? Very good initiation from Egan. Risked it all there and knew it was all about the initiation, having that commitment. This is looking good from the Irishman right now as Egan fires around the top end of the circuit. Down he goes. This is absolutely brilliant as Egan flexes the back end towards the wall. Now looks for that final outside zone. One of these runs that just comes up and smacks you in the face as Egan stands on the throttle and across the line.
Ooh, would like to have seen him stay in the throttle across the line. Yeah, I really hope that doesn't come back to haunt him. Beginning of the run, though, I love how much throttle he's using through here. He gets the car lit up really early, doesn't hold on to the handbrake too long. Maybe it's hard to say. I was happy he didn't really try to extend it. The more speed you can keep, the more momentum you have going up the hill, the better the rest of that run is going to be. And I think for Dave Egan, he did a really, really good job. Judges are already taking a look at the end of that run to make sure. So if there's any major updates with that, we'll let you know. But there's Dave. He's looking so calm in here. I mean, complete juxtaposition to what last year looked like.
Yeah.
His in-car was frantic. It's like he was swatting bees away. And this year it looks...
I love that.
It looks really calm. Does get that transition done a bit early. I think didn't carry enough speed through 5, didn't extend enough through 6, and that means you're on the wrong side of the bulge in the wall in 8. So... yeah, we'll see.
I think, look, overall, it's a very nice run.
It is.
For me, there's just a question mark hanging at the end of outside zone 8 to where the finish line is.
Yeah.
How are the judges deeming that?
So the hard part is it's not a zone.
No.
So how do you knock line points off?
Of course,
You could pull a bunch out of angle and style, though, right? Because it is. That's not a stylish way to end a run.
No.
You know, there's no fluidity, no commitment. There it is.
And there you go. And Jacob is 100% right.
Ooh,
Angle and style. Put it on the calendar. He got one right. There we go. The score drops in for Dave Egan. And we go back on the line to Diogo Correa. So Diogo Correa off the line in this BMW 3 Series. Mercedes-Benz M104 turbo underneath the bonnet. 900 horsepower, tickles the Armco. on initiation, and that is what we've been looking for. Judges saying that that's what they wanted to see. They want to see the back end flexed on that Armco on outside zone 1. That full commitment is what we're looking for. Wow! Diogo Correa this weekend has had his Weetabix, that's for sure, because he is not messing around. The Portuguese driver attacks the wall and across the line.
Yeah, he woke up on the right side of the bed.
He was, wow. What did he have for breakfast?
I don't know, man, but I'll take 2. Just 17.5, style 17.5.
So yeah, 86.7, we go back on the line to Espen Road. Espen Road, the man that filled his engine with concrete in Mondello Park. Yeah. Still made it out.
On it too. That's the best part.
Yeah, we were like unofficial consultants in that. Anyway, changed the engine for this event. Espen Road back looking for more success here at Driftmasters. Again, another angry initiation. As drivers now starting to really turn up the heat here at Ahvenisto Race Circuit. Goes very wide, big correction on the steering wheel though, loses some body panels as he tries to get himself into these final outside zones. Big flick, big angle as Espen Road flexes the back end on the wall and across the line.
It feels like a car with a lot of forward bite, and maybe not as much side bite, which can work out. You can make that combo work well. You just drive into things and really throw a ton of angle at it. You can see that through the first part, but as soon as he gets back on throttle through here, look at the car wanting to straighten out. And he's got to drive up to that section. You have to pull some of that angle out, but it just really feels like that car just wants to go forward. So let's see if we can tell. They're having to go a bit overhand. Oh, what a beautiful hand movement there, though. So handbrake, gear down, back on handbrake to extend that out. That would have been at 6, I believe, where he had to do that.
Yeah.
You just lose. I thought it was on the wall. No,
yeah,
it's just air pressure alone.
And there was a mistake there as well. He handbrakes halfway through this zone. Watch this, he comes down, handbrakes.
Yeah. Okay, so we'll have to see how that stacks up, and we'll get a track worker out there to clean up that bumper and see all the fans in the background. We've added them in. This place is packed.
This place is packed. Tomorrow, even more. Sold out tomorrow in
Wild. Absolutely wild. So let's see. Yeah, we'll be able to see where that handbrake is that you talked about. And there goes the bumper. So a little bit of one there.
Yes, kind of slows the car down a little bit. And then look, as he gets to the zone, he handbrakes. An 85, yeah, it's reflected in the score. And he's halfway through the zone as well at that point. And we are, but you're probably thinking at home, ladies and gentlemen, oh, these guys are being really tight. This track, from what we've seen in our practice session yesterday and today, we know these guys are capable of putting down easily 90-plus runs every single run. Yeah. So the judges now are kind of expecting these guys to be perfect. And the drivers have also mentioned how good this track is. We're back on the line, Marco Zaccaril in the BMW F22 with a Volkswagen 2-litre turbo engine underneath the bonnet, 700 horsepower. He said, this car, this engine, this track will all designed for each other. But what can you do right now? The man from the Czech Republic fires through outside zone 5, big flick down onto the wall. Lovely line into outside zone 6 before he picks up 7, flicks it to outside zone 8, stands on the accelerator as Marco Zaccaril gets the job done and across the line.
I wonder what he changed. Was it just like turbo sizing?
I don't know.
Yeah.
He was very, hey, look at me. I've changed some stuff.
That's good. I mean, he's at the forefront of the development of this engine package, and it's a big risk, but I think for the greater drifting community, it's a beautiful thing to have just another option that can make north of 600 horsepower. That's, that 600 mark is make or break for a lot of different engines. But yeah, Marco Zaccaril looking really, really good throughout this run. Same thing, a few spots. Like, really, the judges are wanting you so deep in every single zone. You know, they are asking for perfection. That's how you get 100. And as these scores roll in, that knockout threshold is getting closer and closer to 90, very, very quick. So that's going to be more or less that discussion as we get down to the pointy end of this. But yeah, nothing too major mistakes-wise. I mean, I think it was just a bit safer. We're seeing a mix, right? We got some drivers who are going really hard and making some strange mistakes, and some drivers who are a little more hesitant, but just not getting as deep in.
And I'm looking at some of these runs saying they maybe doesn't have the same impact we've seen from other circuits, but I'm looking at that run, and technically the line driving, which is what the judges are scoring these guys on, this is very good.
Yeah.
This is a very good run from Marco Zaccaril. And there we go. And it's proven a 90 on the board for Marco Zaccaril, a 90.5, sorry. And that's exactly what I'm talking about. It maybe had a little bit of, lacking in the impact, but the impact's just for us.
Line is 60%. So just drive to the line, and hopefully you pick up some other points.
Exactly. We go back on the line to a man from Poland, David Spossop, now in the Nissan Silvia S15 2JZ, 920 horsepower. Headlights removed for this weekend. That might be to do with cooling as Spossop fires it in, and now he also tries to flirt with the Armco on initiation as he puts that rear wheel on the white line, then drops down for the inner zone and back out across the circuit for outside zone 5, flicks the car down on the handbrake, flexes the back end of that car on the wall as he looks for the final outside zone. Spossop again flexes the car, jumps onto the throttle, stands on it across the line.
Another one of those runs that similar to what we saw with Zaccaril, where it's a good lead line.
Yeah.
I mean, nothing super crazy. I do like that he was really trying to push out closer to the wall in 6. You almost watch him not quite crab walk the car out there, but the way he kind of just drives out. I'm trying to think of the best way to describe it. Just extends out his angle a little bit slower. Some drivers are really snappy between each zones, and for Spossop, he kind of elects to go with a bit smoother of a route throughout, but great line coming through there, just touches that right here. See what I mean? Where he
kind of stalls the transition.
Prolongs
it.
Yeah, and I mean it's not gonna pick up a bunch of style points, but it does mean you have a little bit more time to get into that zone, and he does. He does a beautiful job of getting through 6. Same thing, not as much angle as we saw from a few other drivers where we're almost backing it in, but you're taking a lot less of a risk by approaching it slower.
Yeah, certainly so. I think a lot of drivers approach some of these zones different to every other driver as well.
I agree. Yeah, there's a lot of different. I think because it's a new track, this is how you drive this track hasn't been developed yet.
No, yeah.
Right. Mondello, there is a way to drive Mondello.
There we go. An 88.2 drops in for David Spossop. And you'll be happy with that. I think that the style from these drivers is all their own personal styles are being shown on this circuit.
Yeah.
The big flicks on initiation, the run in the walls, the big angle. This really does show us the different talents.
Yeah, more than one way to peel an orange.
But we go off the line. Here's Oliver Randlo, the Estonian from Tallinn in this BMW E46 M50 Turbo 900 horsepower. Doing a nice job so far as he looks laser focused in the car. Now works his way down the hill, floats that car out to outside zone 5. With it back for 6, just moves the back end on the wall, but it does upset the front wheels ever so slightly. Back into it once again. Outside zone 8, on the throttle, on the line, and across the line.
Yeah, it takes him a minute there through 8 to same thing. Few drivers struggling with that. I think because of that bulge in the wall, you have to get that line perfect going into that section. Really, really good on initiation. Gets that car lit up, and then it's just a great line in between. But you can see him wiggling the car a bit, just to make sure he's in that correct spot. There's a bit of angle out here. It feels like the drivers who are trying to pick up as much speed coming from the downhill don't need to use the curb as much.
Yeah.
And they can extend everything through this part of the track. Look at that. Maybe
just move the front wheel.
Yeah, just a touch. Let's say this angle should give us a really good view of that. See, it looks good through there, but I think you're right. He pushed a little bit past it. Yeah, right there, and then has to get the back end to come around. So
uses a left foot brake as well to kind of get the car to rotate.
Man,
I think this is going to be one of those tracks where you have to split hairs, because I think every driver on the grid can drive it.
Yes,
it's just how well you can get around.
I'm trying not to get ahead of myself, but I think tandem is going to be absurd tomorrow.
It certainly is. Well, a 93 dead drops on the board for Oliver Randlo. He'll be happy with that. Puts himself into second position at the moment as we go back on the line to a man that everybody was saying yesterday, is the fastest man around the track. What can he do? There's, of course, the Lithuanian Benediktas Čerba in the BMW G42 2JZ at 900 horsepower. Flicks that car to angle. Well, look at this from Čerba. The tailgate already opening from pure pace as Čerba puts that car right to the edge of the circuit. And look how quick he is around the track as Čerba is catching our cameramen out. Flicks that car to angle. Wow, Čerba is on an absolute mission this weekend. What can the Lithuanian do? How did he rotate the car in outside zone 8 like that? That is unbelievable.
So there are drivers that are faster at run-up and faster coming down the hill, but there is nobody who is that fast through every single part of the track. It's like he doesn't decel at any point. Right off initiation, gets that car lit up, great line through here, maybe just a touch inside through that clip, but then he is just picking up speed constantly through the rest of this run. And the car is flat. It's not like it's bobbling around, it's not doing anything weird. It is just so well set up. It's got the right amount of grip, it's got the right amount of forward bite, and even through here, the smallest handbrake pull, and he's after the zone. It's more just to get it set up, and then comes through our inside zone, drives through this section, and then, yeah, getting that car, he just adds so much angle as he's getting into 8. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful run.
That is absolutely beautiful. I'm a big Benediktas Čerba fan.
You've been hanging out a lot with him.
I'm trying to... He said he has some skill to lend out, and I was like, I'll take a bag load of it.
Man.
This is beautiful from Čerba.
Yeah, picking up just a ton of speed.
And he would be upset that he lost a point there.
Probably.
Yeah.
Look at that, RTW, ready to win.
Yeah, what a...
what a flex.
Yeah. Well, he definitely looks strong this weekend, and he could be ready to win, that's for sure. As he gets himself, look at that, just drags the back end of that carbon Kevlar BMW along the wall.
That's it for the handbrake.
Yeah, such a dab. Yeah. Oh, an 88.5, not liked as much by the judges.
A few spots on the line.
Yeah, a few spots on the line. So a judge is hard to impress this weekend, but can Jason Benet impress him? The Frenchman sits on the line, the Subaru BRZ 2JZ 950 horsepower. And Jason Benet said, yeah, I like this track. This is fast, it's fun, it flows, it's really good. And he goes off the line as he flicks that car to angle. Another driver that's really got to grips with that line. Oh, too much angle, and it has to correct as Benet now settles himself, gets himself down to outside zone 5. Early flick that makes it work for Benet as he stands on the accelerator. Oh! Big angle for Benet as he puts it to outside zone 8. How did he pull that off as Jason Benet gets it across the line?
I haven't seen anybody else do that. I thought he was spinning out.
Yeah, I thought he was over-rotating.
Yeah, it's over. Yeah, it's going to take me a second to come to terms with that. That was wild. So, grabs a bit of handbrake there at the beginning, gets back on it. Look at the angle that he's got coming up the hill. So he goes 2 wheels off there. If he would have held on to that, though, holy cow. Now he's got to make a couple other corrections to get back into it through 3 and 4, just to try and find that line again. And then through 5, he's got things sorted. It's going to be here, 6. Yeah, tons of speed coming through that section. But yeah, that angle, I mean, I don't really understand how he made that work.
Look at this. He goes super wide. Does he miss this? Yeah.
Oh, okay. So he's just trying to check up to get the car back online.
Back online, yeah.
If you would have collected it, though, that would have been real pretty. And that's the thing with some of the angles you look at, you're like, what is that? And then we flip over to the drone, and you know immediately what's going
happened.
on.
Yeah, exactly that. Well, it had all the flair, and it had the style, and it had the impact, that's for sure. But I don't think it had a line.
Yeah, line might be a bit
line
of an
might
issue.
be missing. Hey.
Yeah. For a party event, though, that's top notch.
Yep. Oh, and Jason Benet's here at a party this weekend, that's for sure.
I'd say that's cool with me. Finnish fans, they like to party.
They love the party.
They do like to party. Can hear them.
Yeah, we can hear them cheering. Yeah. They want to party. That's what they want to do. Well, some beautiful shots there from our Red Bull Media House. Our man Addy down there with that Phantom slow-mo camera. Oh, lock up there, was it? Yeah, 83.7. Yeah, I mean, look, it kind of had the big golden buzzer moment, but unfortunately for the judges, it wasn't what they were looking for, that's for sure. We go back on the line to Lauri Heinonen, who is in Mika Keskikorpi's spare car. And Lauri Heinonen, well, there is his car, and unfortunately laid to rest, as we like to say. The Undertaker has laid his own car to rest. It has a candle on there, it is lit, and unfortunately the car isn't lit this weekend because it is dead. And he said no spare engines, no time to repair it. Mika Keskikorpi, though, brought a spare car and he said, you know what, buddy, jump in my car, do it for Finland, see what you can do. But he jumps from the right to the left-hand side. This is going to be a weird switch up for Lauri Heinonen, but what can he do in front of his home crowd? The Finnish fans are screaming his name right now, and the former champion stands on the accelerator in this BMW F22. That BMW engine screams underneath the bonnet, but Lauri Heinonen doing a very good job so far. Last outside zone to go as he puts a back bumper towards the wall and across the line.
And this could not be any more different than the vehicle he came from.
Oh, 100%.
This is so far away from what he was driving earlier on this weekend, but he's adapted to it so quickly. And I mean, just big kudos to him for not giving up and just going back out, wanting to entertain it. And same thing for Mika Keskikorpi for doing that and giving him a car to at least go and compete and do everything he can to put on a great show. We'll see how it works out for him. I mean, he's got a handful of laps in this vehicle. But yeah, I mean, it's impressive he's even driving at the point that he is. Yeah, everything on the wrong side for him, and just a big change.
Yeah, I mean, look, not only has he changed from left-hand drive to right-hand drive, right-hand drive to left-hand drive, he's had to adapt to a brand new chassis, a different power plant, and you know, something that drives completely different to what he's used to and what he's been driving all season. But that reoccurring issue, that engine failure, that engine problem, been peering its head round the corner at every single opportunity, and unfortunately this weekend did it just when it mattered most.
Yeah, and if you didn't know, there's one real easy way to tell which one's Lauri's car. It's going to be that flag on the top, and there's a few other differences over these vehicles. The headlights are a little bit different. In Mika's car, he's got a little vent right there, but overall, you're going to know this is Lauri out there.
And there we go, an 84.2 drops in for Lauri Heinonen. So he'll be looking to try and improve that to get himself into the show. As we see some scores dropping in now, we will see where that car is after all of these qualifying runs. We go back on the line to Jakub Pszczonski. We heard from him earlier on. What can he do right now? The Polish driver from Warsaw in this Toyota GR86 B58 900 horsepower. Fires that car in, wow, almost takes the back end off the car on the guardrail at the edge of the circuit, but that does drop him down for the outside zone now as he starts to settle into the run. Oh, and a wobble on outside zone 5. Fires that car for 6 up onto the wall. Does he miss in a 7 there? We'll see that on another replay as Pszczonski gets himself into that final outside zone, opens the throttle and across the line.
Yeah, Kuba's one of the drivers that in practice we saw took a little bit longer to get to terms with this track.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was just, it's very unlike him to not jump on a track and immediately start doing well. And it wasn't like he was doing bad by any means. It's just, normally we see him come out and crush the line almost immediately.
Yeah.
And then try to dial in things like angle and style. But for some reason, it took more laps than I was expecting for him. And maybe that's coming up a little bit here now. Just didn't quite get the flow of this. Big initiation, looked really good. There's some spots in this track that look incredible, but we're so used to him being a very technical line driver, you know, that just needs to add a little bit more flair here and there. And this run just didn't quite come to him.
No, it didn't. And it's surprising, as you say, because we're so used to seeing Jakub Pszczonski throw down some incredible technical line driving. Those small mistakes just creeping in there, and you can see one right there. He doesn't really get the car loaded up for the transition properly. It kind of just didn't really come together on that first run.
Yeah, it's strange, but he's got another one to go, and he's got an incredible team behind him. So
certainly has.
They'll take a look and provide some notes, and I expect to see a brand new Kuba come out for a second run a little bit later on.
Well, we wait for that score to drop in for Jakub Pszczonski on his first qualifying run as he sits and waits as well, and it's going to be an 82.2. And yeah, judges are agreeing, not really the Kuba that we know as we go back on the line to another Finnish driver. It is, of course, the man that designed this track.
Yeah, and the man that swapped cars overnight. Last car blew an engine, and he's 15 minutes away, so just came out and said, hey, I'll bring my next one.
Of course, Juha Rittinen off the line, that Toyota GR862. JZ fires it in, 1,003 horsepower as he now lights up the circuit, climbs up the hill. And what can Juha Rittinen do in front of the home crowd as he gets that car a little wiggly in outside zone 5, but cleans it up for 6. Now looks for the transition on the left foot brake, gets it done on the throttle nice and early for Juha Rittinen as he stands on the accelerator across the line.
Yeah, a driver that Probably has more laps here than anybody else.
Yeah.
I can't 100% confirm that, but I know he's not far away. And now they did run this layout a little bit differently when he would have been driving it previously, and they kind of loop back around. But we're changing things up. But yeah, he's doing such a phenomenal job. Getting up the hill, getting through those first 3 zones, and then even setting things up coming down the hill. Everything's looking quite good for him. I mean, really no major problems at any point in time.
No, looking really comfortable in the car as well. And,
so close to the steering wheel.
Yeah.
One of the things you and I always look at is like seating position. Like how do they get to all their instruments? How do they work the vehicle? But yeah, he's one of the drivers that's right up on the steering wheel. I don't know if it was just the camera or if it's just bouncing around that much. At least from that camera angle, it really felt like the car was kind of violent, but seen from this, it's pretty smooth. So I'm guessing just maybe a loose mount on the camera.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because Juha is generally a very, very smooth driver.
Yeah, just looking back at the run there on some of those slow-mos, different angles from some of those zones as well. You kind of get to see how the transition was done, where they braked, how they set themselves up for the zones. And it was a very smooth run.
Yeah.
And I think Juha really, I think he loves this track.
Yeah. I mean, being close to home, I don't know if he's just sleeping in his own bed tonight. That can make a massive difference, just being able to check back in.
Yeah, well, there we go, an 87.7 for Juha Rittinen.
Style being the big one to clean up on that one.
Yeah. So we're going to see these guys run once again, don't forget, after.
Speaking of style.
Yeah, we have a small break in between these first qualifying runs and the second ones, but we're off the line with Jack Shanahan from Ireland for a GTA 62 JZ, 1,000 horsepower as he clicks through the gears. Shanahan, yeah, style in plenty as he fires that car to angle. Shanahan opens up the throttle, looks for these zones, tries to collect them perfectly. Shanahan now works his way out to the edge of the circuit. Big angle, big flick. Wow, on the throttle super early, but a little dab here and there after the zone as he handbrakes again to outside zone 8, opens up the throttle and across the line. Shanahan, that was fast as well.
He was talking about how big he could throw that car coming out the wall. And we weren't sure. We kind of chatted with the judges, like, is that cool? Like, you guys all right with that? Like,
Yeah.
If you can save it without making a correction, just go for it. And for Jack, like, you can see from this drone view just the line that he is on and the amount of style. Same thing. Pulls just a touch of angle out, try and pick up more speed, but that line is so consistent all the way through that part of the track. And then look at this, loads the car up, big transition, going into 6. I see sparks.
Yeah, I just wondered, was that tail light lens maybe coming off the car?
Oh,
yeah,
that's
it was.
beautiful.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Oh, man, that is stunning. And then collects that inside zone quite well, coming out to our final one here along the wall, zone 8. Jack Shanahan. I mean, angle and style-wise, you got to give him high marks there. I didn't see much of a miss online, though, either.
No.
Are we looking at our top qualifier right now? I don't want to call it too early, but that's quite the run.
That is quite a run, looking back at it. But we will see as the scores drop in from our judges. Shanahan there, you can see at the edge of the circuit, nervously awaiting to see what that qualifying score is as he takes off the gloves.
Judge is taking another look at zone 8, maybe just to see if there's a wheel off.
I think he got to it super early. I think it was the entry to zone 8 is what they're looking at.
Oh, interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how it all plays out for him. I mean, I like the run. I'm not a judge.
Your opinion matters to nobody.
We comment on things. Yes.
That's exactly what we do.
Yeah.
Here we go, score drops in at 92.5 for Jack Shanahan. He'd be happy with that, but he would have wanted a little more, that's for sure. Drops him into 4th place at the moment, so it just goes to show you the way things are going and how this is going to open up this afternoon here in Finland as Nasser Al-Habali from El Salvador, now residing in Dubai, comes off the line in this LS Supercharged Nissan 400Z, 1,000 horsepower, sitting above Shanahan in the championship, just going to show you how well this young man is doing in his second ever year, full season of Drift Masters. A very nice line at the moment. What can he do as he flicks that car down towards the wall, the headlights on, you can see him shining through the smoke that's appearing on circuit. Back off roll nice and early. Habali, a very technical line driver, and across the line.
And we've talked about how great his season's been. Just to give you a quick report card, 17th, 10th, and 10th. Yeah, that is an amazing year already, and it feels like he's just getting better. He's consistently improving. He's not making the same mistakes twice. For a little while, like inside zones were a bit of a struggle for him, and now he kind of has that dialed in. I say that as he goes a little bit tight on that zone, but for Nasser though, his mindset has been maybe the biggest thing. He's excited to be here. He wants to run everything. He's hyper focused. He's locked in, and it's starting to really come to him. And we'll see, can he improve his results? There's not many drivers that are sitting with that consistent of a result. And any driver to say they're in the championship ahead of Jack Shanahan, that's not bad.
He barely handbraked to this outside zone. Watch this. Dab, dab, on throttle.
Yeah, wow. And he kind of gets it done early. Now the decel zone in that does extend.
It does extend
before and after.
Yeah, before and after the zone. So if you do see him handbraking before or after the zone, that is in the decel area. But for me, Harbali carried so much speed because he barely used the handbrake. He just used angle and off throttle to slow that car down. Incredible stuff.
Well, and this is what we talked about when we get into head-to-head. Like, that could be the difference between completely gapping somebody and pulling away from them or being stuck up.
Oh, wow, look at that. A 93.5 for Nasser Harbali as he puts himself into second position at the moment, and he'll be very, very happy with that. We go down on the line to Connor Falvey, and you see that sticker on the side of the car. Well, this weekend he is driving in memory of his very dear family friend James Walsh, who unfortunately was killed in a motorcycle accident. I know the Falvey family will be thinking of James Walsh this weekend, and so will Connor Falvey as he fires in his Drift Games S15 and puts the back end towards the wall. No messing around from Falvey this weekend. Second step on the podium at round 3, and he would love nothing more than to get back on the podium again. And I tell you what, Jacob, right now he's doing an incredible job. Falvey is not messing around as we heat up the championship. Falvey on throttle already as he puts it right to the edge of the circuit and across the line. This young man has unlocked something in himself.
Yeah, this is a completely new driver at this point in time. It's been incredible to see how he's developed and how much better he's gotten. It's wild. It's absolutely wild. And this is just a continuation of what we saw in Ireland. Unfortunately, getting a little bit wide to that inside zone, but man, the pace that he's able to pick up, the commitment that he drives with is just, it's just remarkable.
Yeah,
it really is. Oh man, he just doesn't want to slow this car down. There's big transitions, big flick, just a touch of the handbrake, lifts off, back on throttle, finds the grip, and then gone again.
Wow, that's unbelievable. That wall run as well. Again, another driver just using the handbrake, not to completely lock the car up, just a slow dab, just to slow the rear wheels, to gain that bit of grip back, and then back on throttle again. The entry into outside zone 8 as well was phenomenal. And I think that was where Jack Shanahan lost those points. That was what the judges were looking at. Was it a wheel over? And I think Falvey did it incredibly. Look at this. It just flexes that canard on the rear bumper, and that catches the bumper, and then the bumper says, yeah, I'm out of here.
Yeah, their body kit budget is going right out the window.
A 90.2 for Connor Falvey. He'll be very happy with that for his first qualifying run, and only grounds to build on that after seeing that first qualifying run. We're back on the line to Kevin Passer, another Estonian driver, as he fires on the anti-lag. The BMW M2 G87 M50 turbo, 1,000 horsepower, comes off the line, and the man that has been known for being one of the fastest on the grid this weekend is being put to the test, because everybody seems fast here in Ahvenisto in Finland, as Passer now works his way around the circuit, flicks that car to angle, flexes the back end on the wall on big angle. Judges a groan from the other side of the comms box, shallows up the angle across the line.
Yeah, a driver's really got to watch that. I don't understand why you're straightening the car out at that point in time. Just stay in the end.
And we wonder how the judges take that one. As you can see, always as always, sorry, the Estonian driver, visor down, looking cool, calm and collected and laser focused as he waits for that score to drop in onto the board, and judges still looking back at replays of the run.
Yeah, we'll see how this all works out for him here as the scores coming in. Has been amazing to see how all of this is stacking up. And yeah, Jarkko Jula, still our top qualifier, 93.7.
Yeah, Jarkko Jula really came out swinging, held on to that, and maybe he was still tired. Get that run done quickly, get back, have a nap, come back out for the second run. There you go, score drops in, an 84, yeah, not liked by the judges. Some mistakes creeping in. And I think for Kevin Passert this year, qualifying not been his strong point.
No, it definitely has been. It's a lot of the head-to-heads has been good, but qualifying just needs a little bit of work.
It certainly does. Well, Nicholas Bertans from Latvia sits on the line from Riga. We'll be heading there in just over a week's time in that HGK Eurofighter BMW E92. The big boy V8 screams as Bertans now fires that car to angle and opens up all of the 1100 horsepower. Bertans on a mission this weekend to put himself up into the points before we head to Riga. Oh, big damage on the back of the car. Does upset the front wheel, stands back on it again. Unintentional, he didn't mean to do that, and you can see driving angry at the end of the run.
Yeah, going for that impact score, and he's trying for it for sure. Nick Knack he's got everything. He's got the entire package to be a phenomenal driver, and I think just sometimes just goes a little bit too far, and that's all it is. It's just trying to reel him in that last 5 or 10%. And the thing is, there's been so many amazing drivers. We see him picking up the wheel.
Yeah.
There's been so many amazing drivers that have struggled through that exact same thing, where they're 100% driver, 105% driver. And for me, that's exactly what Nick Knack is it's wrangling in that last 5% to get him back to where he needs to be. Just overdrives on the odd occasion. Because everything about this run is really good, except the spots where it's bad, because what's bad is it's just unfortunately bad.
Yeah.
It's like you didn't need to go that hard, dude.
I think for me, this all comes down to initiation. He threw big angle at initiation.
Yeah.
That kind of messed up the inner zone. Then he washed the car wide, and then he came back down, and then he was too far in on inside zone 3. And then he kind of made a correction to get to 5. It was kind of all a little mistake and a mistake and a mistake, and they all add up. And listen, the judges, they don't miss a thing.
It's just too aggressive. That's all it is. It's just being too aggressive, which is a phenomenal watch.
Yes.
Right? Like for a spectator side, it's great, but it means stuff like that where you catch the wall a bit too much, you get into the bash bar, it changes the angle of the vehicle, and you're kind of chasing points for the rest of the run.
You certainly are. Well, looks like the score's going to drop in. Yeah, it's going to be an 81. The judge is not liking that. An 81.2 for Nicholas Bertans, and you can see the back end of that Eurofighter heavily damaged. He'll go a bit down there to the pits and get that repaired before heading out for the second qualifying run. Dwayne McKeever up next from Ireland. Sam 180SX, RB26. Well, no, that's not the car. This is the Dean M Sport built 2JZ 180SX. 1,000 horsepower. As McKeever fires that car in good angle on initiation. Are those big angle initiations paying off for a lot of these drivers? We'll see how he was on that second inside zone from the drone shot on the replay. Look at that tailgate opens, wow! Avoids the wall and then closes again as McKeever gets himself into outside zone 8, opens up the throttle and across the line.
That's one way to get proximity to the wall.
I mean, is that cheating?
I don't know, but it was amazing.
Did he find a loophole?
I think he's got little actuators in the back.
Open the tailgate, miss the wall, close it again.
Oh, man. So him and his team did something interesting this weekend where they brought out a speed gun, and they were checking the speeds of drivers coming up. Dwayne wouldn't tell me who's first, but he said, I'm the second fastest driver at run-up. Wouldn't tell me who's first, though. But, man, what a fun run from Dwayne McKeever, the Northern Smoke Machine. This is good. Look how calm he is. Look how locked in. I didn't touch a button to open the hatch, so it must be doing it by itself. I really want to see that again, though. Look at this, coming down the hill. That gives you a good perspective. Yep. And back close.
That's so good. That is absolutely, we're going to see a perfect shot here from Red Bull Media. Oh, wow, that is absolutely beautiful.
The proximity cheat.
Yep.
I like it.
Well, I mean, hey.
If it works, it works.
It works.
We'll find out here soon. 93.7 top spot for Jaakko Jula.
Yep, and then we have a cut-off zone as well now. Ville Kaukonen sits on the cut-off zone at 77.2. So we're looking for over a 77. So I'm going to say going to be around there. And here we go, McKeever tops qualifying at the moment with a 94.7. Wow, judges absolutely loving that. A 94.7 for Dwayne McKeever puts him in the top spot. Finally knocks Jaakko Jula off the top spot. Yeah, and the Finnish fans, well, they're standing, and it's not for McKeever, it's for this young man, Mika Keski-Korpi. They are ready to see the young Finnish driver come off the line in the BMW F22 Eurofighter S58 underneath 1,007 horsepower. As Keski-Korpi slams that car into gear and across the line, through the gears, up to initiation as Keski-Korpi, another driver, flicking that car to angle and straight onto the accelerator. As Mika Keski-Korpi now looks for the outer edges of the circuit, trying to claw every single point. That's beautiful there on the outside zone. Beautiful there as he destroys the back end of the car, flicks it to outside zone A. What can he do as he stands on the throttle nice and early? Keski-Korpi right to the edge of the circuit and across the line.
This is really good.
He has changed so much from 2025.
Yeah, oh yeah, it's a completely different driver at this point. I mean, he looks the same beautiful hair, same big winning smile, but oh man, just his confidence in his car, in his driving, in the team, everything just means you can drive with so much more commitment, and you can attack things a lot differently. Like when you know the team is good, you're willing to put the back end of the car into the wall, right? When you're confident in your driving, you're going to transition a little bit later. You're going to risk a lot more because you know you can catch the car. That is right there. Man, it is. It's just, it feels like a completely different driver, and it's working so well for him. I mean, we talked about the podium before. I don't think it is going to be his last podium this season. I'd like to call it now. Like,
I was just thinking the same thing.
Yeah, I really don't think he's going to miss out on many podiums this year.
No, and you know what? He looks so comfortable at this circuit, surrounded by his home fans and being in this country. A 95.5, Mika Keski-Korpi tops qualifying with a 95.5, and what a statement straight out the bat. And well, he throws the gauntlet to Peter Wiensek, who now sits on the line and would say, I'm going to top qualifying because I had a bad round 3. This is redemption time. He comes off the line and through the gears. The Polishman in the Toyota Supra, A90, slams that car into action as he now puts it to the edge of the circuit. What can Wiensek do right now as he finds the edge of the track? Big flick. This is high speed from Wiensek. Absolutely beautiful on the wall for Wiensek as he looks for the final outside zone. Rotates the car, stands on the throttle and across the line.
Well, for a driver that's very much in the championship fight right now, these 8 points are crucial. And that's not going to be lost on Piotr Wiensek. Like, he knows he needs every single point he can get, and that starts right here, right now in qualifying with this run. It looks good. It's a very technical run. It's smooth, it's precise. Look at how well he's filling that outside zone. And through the inside zones, he's got a great line. It may be a bit deep through there.
Yeah, I was just going to say.
Touches the wheel off. I mean, there's a few points here and there.
The drone never lies. The overhead drone shot is showing us all of the points where drivers are making the mistakes. And yeah, I mean, look, that was a beautiful run.
It is. It is a beautiful run.
Look how calm he is in the car.
Yeah, that's just how he is. It's funny how he leans away from the corner. He does that every time. Oh, he's a little deep on that zone. Okay, so it's been the insides that he's struggling a little bit. And I mean, really, I'm talking about a little bit. It's a few points here or there.
I'm talking feet.
Yeah,
it's like 2 foot.
Yeah, with 95.5 as your top spot, though, you being off a zone by that much, that could be the difference. It really could. We'll see. All the outside zones are phenomenal, but it's been the insides that he's just not perfect with. What a flawless looking vehicle.
Look at this. Finishes the run, goes down towards the start line, throws in a 360, and then says to Marcin, "Thank you. See you later."
Yeah. Goodbye.
Even a little wave. Well, it looks like scores are dropping. It's going to be a 90 for Wiensek, yeah. A little deep on some of those inner zones, just pulling back the line score there ever so slightly. And we go back on the line to James Dean, a man that we said yesterday, Jacob, from the first run of practice to the last run of practice, looked unbelievable.
Yeah. Yeah, first one out of the gate to hit every mark, and it happened to be his first run.
Yeah, well, here we go. What can he do right now where it matters in qualifying? The Ford Mustang RTR comes off the line into action as Dean tickles the back bumper along the guardrail. Now looks for the edge of the circuit and gets it absolutely pinpoint perfect. Dean on a flyer as he looks for the transition, fires that car early down the hill, flexes the back end, takes the tail light out of the car, looks for the final outside zone on the handbrake nice and early on the front wall, and a little deep there, tags the wall and moves himself away.
Yeah, just a little bit, just a little bit. Now, the big conclusion that we came to is this vehicle was originally built and designed off of the American vehicle, which was built and designed for American-style tracks. This track is the most American-style track that we have on the circuit. Big, long, sweeping corners, you know, only minimal transitions, but everything is kind of elongated, and this vehicle is perfect for that. It does just wonderful, spectacular things when it's on throttle. When you come off, it floats really well. This is the perfect track for this vehicle. And I mean, there's a few spots in here where James looked like he kind of overshot here or there, but I do expect it still to be quite a good score. Yeah, coming out through here, just a little bit wide. That was the only. Now. Do you think it's just because the Mustang does have quite a large overhang? Because look at, he's got a wheel in there. Okay, I tried. You tried.
I did. Hey, you were doing your best.
I went to bat for him.
Yeah, you did, yeah.
It does, though. The Mustang does have a pretty large overhang over the rear and over the front as well. James did talk about when they swapped over to this vehicle, that transitioning, you do have to wait a little bit longer to come around vehicles. The upside is when you do head it towards the wall, as we see in this shot, you've got a little bit more room to play with.
Yeah, you certainly do. Here we go. Score drops in. It's going to be a 93 for James Dean, and we are really ramping up our qualifying scores as we get into the final two drivers in qualifying of the first runs. And up first will be Connor Shanahan, just 4 points behind our championship leader, Pavel Korpolinski. Up first, though, the man from Kilovolen, GT86 2JZ, 950 horsepower. He screams through the gears. What can Connor Shanahan do as he flicks the GT86 to an angle? Gets that car set up lovely. Now opens up the throttle, looks for the edge of the circuit. That left foot brake pushing the back end of the car where he needs it to be. And Shanahan comes down the hill now, looks for the transition, gets it done perfectly. A little dab of the handbrake. Shanahan keeping this very clean at the moment. As he looks for that final outside zone, he opens up the throttle on the edge of the circuit and across the line.
Another good one.
Yeah.
Another good one. I mean, this is what you would expect when we get into the top three in the championship series right now. And I mean, three of the best drivers on the planet without conversation. That's just how it is. Connor Shanahan, I mean, he was throwing in kind of a bigger initiation earlier on, opting more for that midline approach. Get that car out, big left foot brake as he comes up through here. You can see the car wants to go. Like, it really wants to fly.
Wants to go, yeah.
Yeah, it does. And he's got to hold it back. And he's kind of dancing his left foot on that. Now, opts not to use the rumble strip through that section. Good transition out to 5, maybe even more angle than what Jack threw in. And he sets it up really early. So he's got a lot of time to watch for that inside clip and then gets back on throttle. Man, phenomenal job through there. And as we come out to 8, this has kind of been the make or break. He's right on the edge of it.
He is. That wheel is on the line.
This is really good. This is really good. Are we gonna see?
Yeah, can this contest for top spot?
Is it gonna be an Irish finish top 4? Let's see if we get a bit of a pattern going. Man, wild. This track has so many elements to it. 8 zones, you know, not a ton of transitions.
And I think it's challenging because you have the elevation, which, I mean, look, there we go. 94.2 drops in for Connor Shanahan into 3rd place at the moment. He knows he can improve on that. And I think for everyone else, a little bit of style maybe. The touch of style is what was lacking. We go back on the line, Pavel Korpolinski now, the man from Poland leading the championship, the winner of round 3, sits on the line ready to go. Nissan 206 S14A 2JZ, 900 horsepower. I think the elevation, it makes it tricky. Coming downhill, gaining speed towards the wall, it's all factors to take into. And what can Korpolinski do as he flexes the bumper on initiation, carrying so much speed as he now opens up the throttle, comes up the hill. Korpolinski down off that wide line that we were looking for. As Korpolinski maybe a little shaky on this first qualifying run. Big flick towards the wall. That was Korpolinski now. Dials on the angle, looking for that final outside zone. Slows the car on the handbrake, puts the wheel to the white line and across the line.
Again, hear the oohs as coming across the line. I mean, I know some of the drivers tune in and they're like, listen, guys, just finish the run on angle, please. Just it's spooky. It scares me.
Yeah.
I don't want anybody losing points for the last 4 meters of the track. But for Korpelinski, rest of this run looking good. This is a bit more hesitant than I'm kind of used to for his runs. Normally his line is perfect. And I mean, like, truly perfect. He consistently
Well, we call him the surgeon for a reason.
Yeah.
That's because he's so clinical with every movement in the car. The line driving is always absolutely pinpoint perfect. I think we see a little chink in the armour this weekend for Paweł Korpelinski. I think the pressure of being a championship leader, the expectation of maybe taking the championship back to Poland for 2026 is on his shoulders.
Yeah.
And a brand new circuit that 95, as James Dean said, 95% of the grid don't know it.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's, I mean, the weight of, heavy as the head that wears the crown, right? And that's what I feel like maybe is creeping in just a little bit. This is still a phenomenal run. Don't get me wrong. I think almost any other driver on the grid is going to be like, yeah, I'd love to have that run.
Yeah.
But I'm so used to seeing every zone be filled perfectly when it comes to the line, and then him just needing a bit more style. This felt more stylish. I would say maybe the style points are a bit higher than he normally gets, but a couple of the inside zones, and that's really where the drivers seem to be struggling, is the inside zones.
Well, we're going to wait for that score to drop in, the final run of our first half of qualifying. These guys get to do it again, trying to improve on these scores, and we will find out who will top qualifying, who will gain those 8 points in qualifying as the score drops in. An 83.7 for our championship leader, and he knows it's not good as he bows his head and drives away back to the paddock to reset and think about it again. This is how qualifying looks right now. This is how it is all adding up at round 4 of Drift Masters 2026 at Ahvenisto Race Circuit. Mika Keski-Korpi, the local hero, tops qualifying at the moment with a 95.5. Then it's McKeever with a 94.7 and Shanahan with a 94.2. He'll be happy with that, knowing where Korpelinski is. We spoke about the points earlier on.
Well, I don't want to, same thing, don't want to get too far ahead of myself, but the way things are going to stack up in the bracket, you kind of want things to shift around a little bit, especially if you're Korpelinski. Well, I mean, maybe not. Maybe you want to take out one of these top drivers early and jump up those points. Jack Shanahan down in 9th, not a spot we're kind of used to. Same thing with Piotr, 13th, that is super, super rare. But for Perkio to be up in 10th, that's massive. I mean, some of these wild cards really came out to play.
They certainly did. Well, there's a whole bunch of guys that haven't made it in qualifying, and I can tell you right now that the cutoff for qualifying, as it sits right now, is an 82.2.
Wow.
I can see that climbing up to high 80s before the end, and we're going to see it right there. You can see 82.2. George Christoforou sits on the drop zone as it is. And I'm looking at the names that are below that, and I'm saying these are going to climb up through the roof.
Yeah, a few of these drivers, I would definitely expect that. I mean, Kuba is going to be up there, Bertans, Dave Egan as well. It's going to be, and for Haskasap, Vila Kukkonen. There's a lot here. There's a lot. Unfortunately, unless there's a miracle, Juha Putelak, so more than likely out of this. But there, look at this man right here.
Yeah, he's happy. He is definitely in a good mood. I tell you, someone who is in a good mood, David Kalas. David, we have had some phenomenal runs here at qualifying. This track is absolutely perfect.
Like, when we've been coming to this track, we've been quite scared what it can bring because it was something completely new. We never had such an elevation, such a big corner like this track is providing. But I need to say it is awesome. It is so good looking. Like, maybe it is not as good on the screen how it is in reality. Like, this track is having amazing atmosphere and the guys are doing really good job. Like, even though those guys who are not at this moment in top 32 are really good what they showed on the track, and I cannot wait for tomorrow.
Yeah, no, nor can we, David. Yeah, the TV does it no justice, should we say, because the elevation, the surrounding area is absolutely stunning. And we love a new track, Jacob, but we're also a little nervous sometimes when we see it pop on the calendar, we do our research and we're like, we're not quite sure. But I tell you what, when we arrived here yesterday, I was blown away because what a place to have a circuit, what a place to host this. And look at the Finnish drift cleaned up after himself, Jacob.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
And look at this, look what it means to this man. And you know what, if he could top qualifying at his home event, he would be the happiest man. You wouldn't get the smile off his face for years.
Yeah, well, I mean, he's already a smiley guy, so let's give him one more reason to keep on grinning. But he still looks focused. He's happy but focused and very determined to hold down. There we go, packed grandstands, and more people coming tomorrow.
More people. You like it Peoply.
I do. I like it peoply. I like seeing the grandstands. I like walking around, meeting everybody, learning the culture, learning the food.
That is a big hill.
This gives you a good perspective as to how big this facility is too.
Well, there we go. No messing around. Let's get this wrapped up and over, because qualifying round 2 kicks off right now. These drivers all get a second shot at it, Jacob, a chance to get into top 32 for the big show tomorrow here in Finland, as Chrissy Auto now pulls up to the line, a 78.5 on the board in this BMW 6-litre V8 turbo, 850 horsepower, comes off the line. She currently sits 36th. She needs a big score. We're looking at a mid to high 80s to get into the show. Fires that car in, a little bit more confidence in the second qualifying run, as Auto now stands on the throttle, puts it right to the edge of the circuit. Chrissy Auto not messing around. She's going to be doing it for her partner, who looks like he's out of competition, as Chrissy Auto barely slows that car down on outside zone 6, flicks the car for outside zone 8, stands on the accelerator. Chrissy Auto right to the edge of the circuit and across the line.
Holy, wow. Like, that was a solid line run. I mean, really getting to the edge of the track through so much of this. The inside clips look good. Just going back and running her own race, not having to worry about it, not trying to push that hard and do anything crazy. But look at that line all the way through. It's right on the track edge. And then through this inside clip, I mean, collecting it with that trailing wheel, this is a really, really solid line run here. Could maybe use a bit more work on some angle, but as I say that, pretty crazy coming through there. This is a really, really good run for Chrissy Auto.
Yeah, a little shy there on outside zone 6 on the wall, but
yeah.
Hey, it's a beautiful looking BMW, so I wouldn't want to smash it off the wall.
I would say made up for it in 3, though. I mean, completely on the outside edge of the track. So, yeah, I wouldn't want to wreck that car either. Great livery, beautiful build, fantastic driver. Look at that, see what I mean?
Yeah, look at the compression there, and those coilovers really getting to work this weekend. And we'll talk a little bit about that in a few moments' time, because there are a few guys out we know have been doing some incredible work behind the scenes to get these cars dialed in because of the elevation.
Yeah,
it's a big conversation Thursday before they went out for practice.
Well, just trying to figure out how to get some of the dampening under control. Chrissy now taking a long stare and a big wave.
Blows you a kiss, Jacob. Was that to you or?
No, it was to the finish
Juha?
fans.
That was finish fans.
Yeah, I mean, probably to Juha as well.
Yeah. Well, there we go. Score drops in. It will be an 89, so a huge improvement for Chrissy Auto, and that's kind of where she needed to be, an 89. As you can see, Juha Poitevasco there leaning into the car, giving her a congratulations, and I feel like he knows that might be enough. She might be safe for competition.
It's going to be really close.
There we go. Back on the line with our wildcard driver who got the high score in that first qualifying run. It's going to be Paulus Perkio as he fires that car in. He'll be full of confidence right now. Currently in the top 10 as a wild card as he flicks that car to the edge of the circuit. Works his way around, looks as he stares down the circuit now for the transition up to the wall, flexes the back end. The Bullet can barely hold on for speed as he slows that car down into outside zone 8, stands on the throttle on the white line and across the line.
Yeah, a bit more of a straight line approach going into 8. I don't know if I saw a bit of a head shake or nod there or what was going on. Less aggression than we saw in the first one. to walk it yesterday, and I was exhausted.
Yeah, we only walked just
Part
to
of
the
it.
flat bit.
Yeah, literally just to where the camera kind of ends there. That was it.
Well, there we go. Paulius Perkio waiting for his score to drop in. Can he improve on that 91.7 and move himself a little higher up the order? He would love nothing more. It isn't an improvement, as you say. A few mistakes creeping in there. Maybe a little bit of the occasion, that first qualifying run. Trying to outdo himself and just maybe forcing some errors instead of repairing any. There we go, back onto the line. Rapid Pizza. As Kim Borgland.
What I missed?
He had a sticker on the side of the car that said Rapid Pizza.
I'm sure there's lost in translation.
Yeah. Kim Borgland off the line from Finland. An 85 sits himself in 26th place at the moment, but he knows he might be in the drop zone as we move through qualifying. Works his way around the circuit now, comes down the hill, pushes that car wide to outside zone 5 and a quick flick across the circuit, but back on throttle nice and early as Kim stands on the throttle, slows it, gets it into the zone and perfectly in outside zone 8 and across the line.
Another wild card driver trying to move up the ranks.
Yeah.
What, 26th overall right now? So that's a difficult spot to be with an 85. Yeah, there's definitely a few big drivers that are sitting below Kim right now.
Him, yeah.
That could make or break the entire weekend.
Exactly that, yeah. So we're just looking at the standings and Laurin Heinen, Passeur, Korpelinski and Benet below Kim Borgland at the moment.
Yeah,
so
big swingers.
I mean, look, he'll be feeling confident of where he is right now, but he knows he needs to improve on that 85 to definitely secure a spot in tomorrow's competition. And it'd be incredible to see this wildcard driver in the big show tomorrow. And no reason why not. This looks like a cleaner run than his first qualifying run.
Yeah, and seeing what Chrissy did a little bit earlier on is kind of a good comparison. I think there's some room to go up a few points. I don't know if it's going to break into the 90s, but possibly a couple points up. There was a few inside zones though that were a bit too tight, as you can see right there.
Right there. Yep.
Hey,
Sometimes
it lines up. I am liking these beauty shots through the trees though.
Yeah, absolutely stunning. And well, you were wrong, Jacob.
I was.
93.2 for Kim Borgland as he gets himself into 6th position. An incredible improvement. And I tell you what, he'll be very relaxed now knowing where he's sitting in qualifying. And the Finnish fans are loving this because there is a whole host of Finnish drivers in the show already. So it's going to be a good weekend. A man that's not in the show, though, Ville Kalkkonen, into a 77.2. As we said earlier on, didn't really connect the dots. It was there, but it wasn't there. It was scrappy. It needed the more flow, more impact. What can he bring this time around as Kalkkonen fires his BMW in on angle right to the edge of the circuit? This is way cleaner than the first qualifying run now. Can he keep that angle with a little bubble there in outside zone 5, but makes it happen as he comes down. Big angle, collects the inner zone. Final outside zone coming up as he slows the car. Gets into the wall and makes a mistake.
It looked great. It looked really good up until that point, and there was some hesitation coming through 5 and 6. As the hands go up in the air, I wonder if something ended up happening, if something shut down, but I am, well, I won't spoil it yet, but yeah, for Ville Kalkkonen, it looked so good.
Yeah.
I was so excited for him, and just unfortunately, I wonder if we can stick with the in-car coming up to that part of the track, just because I don't know if something happened in the vehicle.
Well, we're going to see it right now. So, big angle, goes for the transition, brings the car back. He kind of placed his hands on the wheel.
Yeah. It looked like he missed grabbing the wheel to get it to come back around. So, not a lot of caster in that car, not a lot of self-steer. So he's having to feed the wheel around and unfortunately missing his hand. And I am getting the unfortunate word that is considered an unchaseable run.
Well, yeah, I mean, the thing is, he hits the wall and then instead of
straight.
Yeah, he kind of comes way out of the zone and dives across the circuit. Bearing in mind, if there was a chase car there, then they would have been contact. So unfortunately, it looks like it is going to be the end of the weekend for Ville Kalkkonen. So it looks like it is going to be scored a 0, ladies and gentlemen. So we're not going to be able to bring that graphic up on the screen, I do believe. And Ville Kalkkonen will be probably waiting there for a long time to...
Someone might want to just give him a heads up.
Give him the bad news, unfortunately. So it is going to be a 0 for Kalkkonen. We're going to lose him from competition. We go back on the line to Greg Murillo. A 65.5. We said this young man been making moves online. His online presence has been building in the last couple of weeks with the announcement of him driving at Drift Masters. He to do right now. He needs a real big improvement and maybe tame the beast a little bit as this young man flicks this Eurofighter to angle. Oh, beautiful initiation. Look at that, straight on throttle. This is way cleaner from Greg Murillo from what we've seen. This is the kind of driving we expected from this young man from Estonia. As the S50 absolutely screams, and that was a beautiful wall run, maybe a little bit too hard for the judges, but what is the line like in outside zone 8? It's absolutely beautiful as Murillo stands on the throttle across the line.
Well, now the rest of the world gets to see what everyone
what we was told about,
Yeah, very aggressive, but still smooth. You know, when you throw the car that hard, there's a high likelihood that you've got to make a big correction afterwards, that you can't fully commit to that much angle. You've got to scrub some out. I didn't see that here. For Greg, he just throws the angle in, gets on throttle, keeps the steering wheel completely over on lock, and just holds it there, and the car holds onto it all the way through. Maybe deep in that. I mean, it was a little too deep. Looks sick.
Yeah.
And as you can tell by all the creases in that car, this isn't the first time he's done something like this. It doesn't really disrupt the car.
It doesn't disrupt the car.
It kind of actually pushes him back out. Now, unfortunately, it does mean he's a little bit too tight on this inside clip. You can see, not by much, but just a little. So yeah, and then we'll see, you know, completely bathed in smoke through there as he comes through outside zone 8. There we go. The fine people inside of our truck switching to the perfect camera angle at the right time.
That's a very nice run. That's exactly what we was expecting to see from this young man.
Yeah. See how this stacks up, though.
Yeah, how do the judges see this one as Greg Murillo sits there awaiting the score to drop in for his second qualifying run, the Estonian. Just 21 years of age. It's 867 horsepower BMW Eurofighter. Still awaits the decision.
Yeah, that's a tough wait. It's a tough wait.
It's a nervous wait.
Yeah. Judges look like they got their scores in, so you'll to find out how that's looking. 41st right now, 65.5. I don't want to go too far out on a limb here, but I think it's going to do a little bit better.
Okay, so it looks like we will be bringing you that score in a few moments' time, as we are just trying to fix our judges' scoring system. Communication lost between...
Computers doing computer things.
Yeah.
Happens.
I mean, my phone lost signal. Is that the same thing? Is that what
For sure.
We've lost signal?
For sure.
So it looks like it will be a 92.7. And
wow.
8th place puts him into 8th place, a 92.7 for Greg Murillo. So if anyone down there wants to tell him that young man has definitely got himself into the show for tomorrow, we're going to go back on the line to Mads Andersen from Denmark in the BMW E92 M3 Eurofighter. As that BMW V8 turbine lifter body, you love that sound.
Do love that sound, and he's unfortunately just outside the top 32 right now.
Yeah, 82.7 literally is 33rd place, so he needs a big improvement. What can he do as he kicks the clutch and fires that car to angle, gets himself up into that inner zone. Very slow there. Look at a heavy amount of left foot brake, and you can see him on it there once again, but now releases the left foot brake to open up that car and flicks it to angle, just flexes the back bumper of that BMW on the wall as Mads Andersen now puts the car into outside zone 8, stands on the throttle, puts the wheel just over the white line and across the line.
Yeah, just on the outside of that through 8, so talked about it earlier. It's not getting the bumper to the wall, it is running that line through outside zone 8, so if it happens to be touching the wall and you're still in the correct spot, fantastic, but it's not really where you're pushing things. Yeah, it's definitely a very unique engine, great sounding engine. Makes decent horsepower, but it did seem like he was struggling just a little bit coming up through the hill. Nice and smooth hands through here, both hands on the wheel. 10 and 2. His driving instructor would be very, very happy with that.
Yeah, not a lot of corrections either. I'm noticing a lot with guys that get the qualifying line absolutely pinpoint perfect. They're putting no input into the wheel.
Yeah, I think especially through 1, 2, and 3. Like if you get that arc right, it flows so nicely.
Yeah.
It's such a great section of track. But also the problem is, like, once you're kind of committed through at least 2, you're already committed to 3, and there's kind of nothing you can do about it. We'll see how this plays out for him. But yeah, a lot of left foot brake through this run. So he's got a lot of grip in that car. And he's using the left foot brake to try and slow it down a little bit and make sure that the rear wheels are always breaking traction, staying in drift. And that is not a Dutch angle. That is just how much of a slope they have coming down.
Well, there we go, an 87.5. It is an improvement for Mads Andersen. It does put him into 23rd place. He is in the show, but it might be a nervous wait for him as the drop zone is only a few heavy hitters away. We move back on the line to our usual contenders in Drift Masters. It will be, of course, Enver Haskasat, who sits in 38th place at the moment with a 77.5. We said needs a little turn of fortune here as the Nissan Silvia S15 2JZ comes off the line, 1,000 horsepower, already discarding body panels as Enver Haskasat now stands on the accelerator, doesn't get out wide on the outer edges of the circuit. Can he do it on 5? He can, and more body panels being shred as Enver Haskasat puts that car nice and close to the wall, flicks it for outside zone 8. On the throttle late though, does get to the white line, but across the line.
It's a bit cautious through there.
Yeah.
And I mean, unfortunately, at this point in time in qualifying, you really can't be cautious anymore. You have bite in it. The car wants to just kind of slide around, but yeah.
Yeah, I think he was cautious. I think you were right what we said. I think he was being very cautious with the run, which I don't... Yeah, we know you can't do that at Drift Masters, unfortunately.
Not right now.
Not right now. Not with a track where so many drivers are comfortable.
Yeah.
There's a lot of drivers that are comfortable, and I mean, I'm just going to take a quick look where we're at with... I mean, we are 14 drivers with a 90.
Yeah.
Just to put that in perspective.
And that's kind of where I'm at too, is like there's a lot of big drivers that traditionally drive into the 90s that still have that run to come. Right?
Yeah.
It's not like you're sitting out there with that, but it's been the show.
Yeah, it does. An 84.5 moves him for Haskasat into the show. 30th place though, and you can see that drops Laurie Heinen and some other heavy hitters down onto the drop zone. We're going to move it back to the start line to Konstantin Sharenko, 76.5. Again, another driver out of the show. The 2JZ Toyota GT86 comes off the line through the gears, and a new camera angle for our onboard as we fire in to initiation and start the climb up the hill, but he misses outside zone 3. Oh, and he's all over the track now, and this is a big mistakes creeping in for Konstantin Sharenko. Manages to slow the car down for outside zone 6. He flicks the car for the final outside zone. He's going to go wide. He holds on to it as Sharenko brings it across the line.
Yeah, very, very unfortunate. And he's going to be fully aware, you know, exactly how that run went. You're going to know right off the bat. And I think similar to what happened in the earlier one, he's just not committed through the initiation. Grabs the handbrake, but even where he's initiating is late, and it's too far inside.
Too far inside, yeah. And you can see there, completely over that inner zone. That's not where the judges wanted to see him. Even collects a cone and discards it outside zone 5. And unfortunately, I think for Konstantin Sharenko, this is not going to be an improvement. You know, being that far off the qualifying line at this circuit, where it is, I'd say, I don't want to say this like it's easy to get to the outside line, but the commitment on initiation encourages that perfect qualifying run.
Yeah, and the hard part too is the next sets of zones as we come down the hill actually look really good.
Good, yeah.
Yeah, and that's the correction you need to make, but it could be a little bit too little too late. And there you go, there's that cone going on for a bit of a ride as you can take a look under that wheel right there, just hanging out. And yeah, that's tough. And the other part too is once you've got that cone under, you can understeer the car a lot. Oh. Because that's not making any grip at that point, especially if that wheel gets locked up. So, yeah, bit of a rough go.
Yeah, been a rough, I think this will be a rough weekend for Konstantin Sharenko. Yeah, look at that, 75.7. He kind of knew, he shook his head, he was like, yeah, fair enough. I knew I made more mistakes. They go back on the line to Karim Hani, who currently sits in 37th place with an 81.7. An incredible first qualifying run from what we see from this young man from Egypt in the BMW G87 M2. 900 horsepower being unleashed right now as he fires that car in. What can he do to improve on that first qualifying run as he pushes that car even wider again on outside zone 3 as he comes down the hill now, picks up outside zone 5, flicks the car towards the wall, shallow on 6, so the easier part of the circuit, looks for the final outside zone, stands on the throttle, left foot brake, locked as he comes across the line.
Yeah, I think shallow is kind of the name of the game on that one. just through a lot of the zones, just not able to fulfill all of it. Still in the zone, still, you know, I would say on maybe the better half of 50%, but at this point, we want the drivers pretty much at the wall on initiation. You've got to be hitting that center line through the inside zones, and then, yeah, that's it. It's just, I think maybe they put a little bit more grip into the car, and this is just the result of that. Even coming down the hill, car really squats hard on handbrake.
Yeah, there's a few drivers I've noticed today, more than ever, that the rear of the car is really reacting to a handbrake movement, and it shows up so much. The judges are able to see that a mile away as well.
Well, it's just, I mean, it means you've got a soft rear end. Like that part of the suspension is not super stiff. So when you grab the handbrake, the car can squat down. And depending on the suspension geometry, that can make the wheels do a lot of different things depending on how you've got it set up. So, yeah, it's not always the best way to make things happen. Now I just realized where Addy is on track. Addy, our super slow-mo camera guy.
You realize where he is?
Well, this is his shot.
Yeah.
Yeah, they just put him up in the bushes and said, go have fun. So make sure to check yourself.
He has free reign.
Yeah, I know.
He has free reign.
They don't tell him where to go.
No, there's no rules. He's allowed to go anywhere.
He's the only camera operator that just goes where he wants.
Well, there we go. Karim Hani does improve, puts himself into 26th place, and again, another driver. A little nervous wait there. But will an 86.5 be enough as we go through? We will obviously let you know when the everybody that's in is in, and the qualifying order can only be changed as George Christopherou from Cyprus now leaves the line. BMW 1 Series S50 Turbo, 1100 horsepower, currently 36th position as Christopherou stands on the accelerator, and this run looks really good. The first run looked really good, but this one now starting to creep in. A lot of mistakes already, as very shallow on some of those outside zones and deep on the inners. Almost a straight line approach here to outside zone 8. Gets up close and personal to the wall and across the line.
Just looking at how this track visually just seems to me, do you think we've just rubbered it into the max now? That it's getting grippier?
Well, we went up onto track yesterday to film our promo video on our Driftmaster social, if you're not following along. Where have you been?
Yeah.
And already after a day of practice, the track was very sticky.
Yeah.
And I'm inclined
so.
to agree that outside zone 8 is incredibly grippy. From one camera angle, you can see the rubber laid on the circuit.
Yeah, I'm seeing more left foot braking than we've seen previously. I see more drivers missing zones that just traditionally wouldn't. It makes me believe that we've just hit this point where there is just so much rubber buildup that the track is just very, very sticky now.
And I think it's from 6 onwards.
Yeah.
I think it's from 6 onwards. You can see that heavy black rubbered in proportion of the circuit. I think that is the point where it's heavily rubbered in.
Yeah, I agree. It's just... it feels different. And we were pretty overcast before, but yeah, you can see just how much rubber buildup is there. Now, we might get to a point too where it starts to flake off again, and you'll get these patchy spots where it's really sticky, and then it kind of cleans up a bit, which makes it even more difficult for the drivers. But yeah, I really do feel like we're at that threshold.
Yeah, there we go. Score drops in for George Christopherou. It isn't an improvement, and we will lose him out of competition this weekend here at Round 4 Driftmasters 2026. The Cypriot driver has to go back and think about what he did. A man that is still in the show is Clint Van Hoort with an 87.5 on that first run. The Dutch driver in this 1,000 horsepower Nissan Silvia S14A flicks the car from left to right. Going to go for a brave one now. Going to put on all of the flair as Clint Van Hoort tries to show the judges what he really has got as he comes firing down the hill now. Outside zone 5 collected. Wow, big flick towards the wall. Clint Van Aert on a mission. Very deep on inside zone 7 though as he flicks it to outside zone 8. Stands on the accelerator and across the line.
See what I mean though? Another run.
Up, yeah.
Even before he initiated, he went to feint the car out. And normally it would break free, and it didn't. And it shot him back over. You'll be able to see it here. Look at the car does not break. Normally he'll break the car free at that point in time. You get the tires to start spinning. You understand where the grip is. It didn't break free. It just stayed gripped up. Then when he went to transition back over, he's way on the inside there. I don't know. I maybe a note to all the other drivers, like take a little bit out of the car, add a bit of pressure, something, because it just feels like that's what's happening here. There's no way every driver has added more grip in for their second run. I don't know, maybe. But they've all done too much?
Yeah, maybe. Or maybe did the track go the other way and not get as grippy?
And then they've added
more grip.
And they were expecting it to
keep loosening?
Yeah. Okay.
I don't know. Hey, we don't.
We don't know. We're just guessing. Yeah. You know what? The great thing is, though, the drivers will correct us.
They will correct us, yeah. 100%.
They will 100% pull us aside and be like, no, that's not what happened at all.
That's not what happened, yeah.
Or every once in a while,
they'll say, you were right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You'll be like, you know what? You guys
well, we had two versions there.
Yeah. Either way, we're wrong.
Either way, we're wrong. Clint Van Aert there doing, I'd say, a lot smoother run.
Yes.
Didn't look like it was wild, didn't look like it was out of control, looked like he really had a hold of the car. So this may be an improvement for Clint Van Aert. And I think he would like to climb up to close near the 90s to really secure a spot in top 32.
I did have Mr. Klaas whisper in my ear that straightening out over the finish line did dock a bunch of points off this run. So a note to everybody here, do not take angle out before the finish line. Just go 90 degrees across the finish line.
Yeah, and there we go. It did as well. An 80.2 drops in, and it keeps Clint Van Aert where he is in 25th position. Losing that straightening across the finish line is not what we want to see, as how drone hovers on the back of Simon Olsen's Nissan Silvia S14.9, that Dean M Sport car. Simon Olsen teaming up with James Dean for 2026. He comes off the line at 88.2 for his first qualifying run. Looks like he's really enjoying this track and really enjoying driving that 2JZ powered Nissan as he fires it right high up on the top end of the circuit. Now looks for outside zone 5. Very nice line, big flick towards outside zone 6 on throttle nice and early. And Simon Olsen now goes for the transition, keeps it clean, keeps it out the wall, right to the edge of the track and across the line.
Yeah, great job adapting there from the young Norwegian. Still going at it. He doesn't
want to stop.
Well, I think he heard, keep the angle going. And he's like, well, I'm just going to go all the way. Yeah. Maybe let's do a second lap just to be sure.
Can put in a top qualifying score. So we see Simon Olsen's second qualifying score drop in at 87.2. Isn't an improvement. Judges not liking it as much. Well, as we see Simon Olsen leave the circuit down to receive that decision, our beautiful sidekick, our beautiful partner, Jane, is down there with the highest Finnish qualifier wildcard, Kim. Jane.
Kim Björklund, this is your first time in Drift Masters as a wild card and 93.2 points, and you're in 6th on the board right now. How do you feel?
Insane, like completely insane. This has been my biggest dream, like for 3 years straight, to be able to drive with the best in Europe, with the best in the world, basically. So insane, insane.
Well, it looks like you belong here, and you do have a great history with this track, so can you please share that?
Yeah, so 3 past rounds of the Finnish Drift Championship, which have been held here, I've won the qualifying, so 3 years in a row.
So does this already feel win to you?
Yeah, I suppose, yes.
Have you ever seen Ahvenisto this full? It's crazy.
No, I have no words, like insane amount of people. I think like over 12,000 people. Hills are completely full, like it gives so much energy also to drive on your home track in that sense.
Right, well there is now time that you can say something to the Finnish audience.
Kiitos kaikille, että tulitte tänne. Aivan mahtavaa, että on näin paljon porukkaa täällä ja kannustetaan suomalaiset vielä voittoon.
And for the ones who are not fluent in Finnish, he's just saying that it's so happy that you guys are here, and let's cheer for the Finnish. Guys, thank you so much. Back to the Ian and Jacob. Thank you, Kim.
Thanks.
Thank you, Jane. Yeah, I mean, wildcard driver out there, 6th place qualifying.
Yeah, amazing spot to be in. That's a dream come true. And this is like, this could be a career-changing weekend.
He said it was his dream, and he's living his dream right now because he's in top 32, and he looks very strong in that lead position. We go back on the line. Obviously, no Juha Poitalaska. Unfortunately, we lose that Finnish driver out of competition. We jump ahead to the Polishman, though, Jakob Kroll in that 2JZ Nissan 200 XS 14.9, 920 horsepower. Kroll with an 85, down in 30th place. So it needs an improvement here, does Jakob Kroll, as we see some heavy hitters out of the show at the moment. What can Kroll do as he flicks that car to angle? That brand new green livery shining bright in the sun here in Finland as he puts the car to angle at the top end of the circuit. Absolutely flying right now is Jakob Kroll as he flexes the carbon Kevlar on the wall, looks for that final outside zone, sets the car up lovely, stands on the accelerator halfway through it and across the line.
Well, we're going to have to see how it stacks up. Currently sitting 30th with some big names still to go. I mean, right now, as it sits, Kevin Passeur, Paweł Korpelinski, Jason Benet, and Kuba Pizonski are all out of the show until their runs come out. They still got time. I mean, there's even more below that. It's pretty wild, but Jakob Kroll doing his absolute best to try and keep himself in a good spot. 85 right now, 30th. It's not the place you want to be. The question is just going to be, is this the run that you want to have in order to keep yourself in the show? Great job running the wall here. That's about as perfect of a wall touch as you're going to get.
Yeah.
Maybe a bit more angle, but other than that, I mean, I think that's exactly what you need to do. Just graze that bumper along that wall, and a phenomenal job through outside zone 8s. This is stacking up to be pretty good. Same thing though, the inside zones are where a lot of these drivers are struggling. I don't know if it's just harder to see, especially because they're either going up the hill or down the hill. I'm not sure. I don't know what it looks like in the car when you're going through that part of the track.
Yeah, I'm unsure if the drivers, like you say, they're just struggling with some of these inner zones. Obviously 3 of them here this weekend at round 4. Score drops in, an 88.5 does move Jakob Kroll up into 19th position, so he will be safe for competition at the moment. I can't see that score being affected. We go back onto start line to Jarkko Jula, the man who held on to first place in qualifying for quite a long while with a 93.7. What can he do now in this 900 horsepower Toyota Chaser JZX 100? As a young man flicks that car to angle, does check the car up on the handbrake a little bit there. Now opens up the fold, looks for that wide line. You can see left foot brake in there, just trying to push the back end of that big JZX 100 where it needs to be. As he fires down the hill, puts the car to angle. This looks very safe. Washes that car out wide though. Did he manage to get inside zone 7? Flicks that car to angle for the final outside zone, keeps it wide and across the line.
He almost looked like he wanted to unwind the car there at the end, but decided not to. Yeah, just my words echoing his head like, don't straighten the car.
Don't straighten the car,
Yeah, I like how it was still like big angle, but he's smooth getting the angle out there. He didn't ever whip the car out. Now it is a longer wheelbase than a lot of the vehicles that we have here, so it is going to take a bit longer for him to get the car to angle, but almost using that to an advantage where he can place the car a little bit easier by getting it to swing out a bit slower instead of just shooting the car around like we see with maybe the Shanahans, where they really like to flick that car out. Dragging out, losing some parts along the wall. Same thing, probably the longest overhang we've got of anybody, but yeah.
He did miss
wide,
it, yeah.
Unfortunately, wide on
it
seven.
looked as well, when you see the rear wheels that far out and that close to the white line on the outside edge of the circuit, I know it's a big car, but you could almost tell he's too far up.
It seems to be when we see the almost over rotation going into, like setting it up before 8, you're like, oh, you've missed 7.
Yeah.
Because you have to rotate the car more to get back in the correct line. That's a cool shot.
Yeah, you like that?
I wonder who the spectator is. Yeah, a great vantage point of showing you just how big that downhill section is.
Well, there we go, score drops in an 86.2. It isn't an improvement. He stays where he is in 4th place at the moment. And Jarkko Juhla missing that inner and going too deep on some of those inners at the top end of the hill now coming into effect. The judges really want these guys to be perfect as Harry Kerr now slams into gear the 2JZ BMW E46/F22. 850 horsepower screams as the young Irishman now comes through the gears. Harry Kerr down in 29th on and flirting with the drop zone. What can he do? He goes very wide there, and it's a mistake from Harry Kerr. Has to correct and get himself back into it as Harry Kerr now tries to readjust as he flicks that car with anger towards the wall on a handbrake dab. Outside zone 7, picks it up once again, back on throttle. He's driving angry as Harry Kerr as he gets it across the line.
Yeah, going really, really aggressive on that one. And head shake, he knew.
He knows,
He knew immediately. I'm sure he's saying, darn.
Yeah,
that was no good.
Darn it.
Darn. Could have done better. But I like the aggression. Like, come out, come swinging, just absolutely go for it. Same thing. It feels like, yeah, the car just did not want to come around and then goes around too much. He's already frustrated at himself midway through
Shakes
this run.
his head already there.
Yeah. As a driver, you know that there's an issue. On throttle, where does this car wash out? So too far on that inside, gets it to the rumble strips, got to pull angle back out to get to that zone. Same thing, trying to set yourself up for the next one. Tough go there from Kerr. And then out of frustration, I feel like that's when that transition happened. Man, what a big whip around. He knew.
That is driving angry.
Yeah, there's the understeer, trying to catch that car back around. At that point, you're just going for the show. You're trying to make the reels. And
yeah.
Yeah.
The highlight reel moment.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
what you're trying to do it for.
That's a nice thing about clips. You don't know what happens before or after. It just looks like a crazy wall run. There we go. That's a section we talked about where the wall comes back out, and it really does stop drivers from cheating going from 7 into 8. You can't beeline. You have to wait until you come around. There is Mr. Kerr. You can almost see the tire rolling off the wheel.
Yeah, on the back there. Look at this. Looking for the score to drop in. Hoping it may be an improvement, and I'm not sure it's going to be at the moment.
Yeah.
We're looking for an 84.2, so score for the drop zone has rapidly dropped up. As you can see the smoke there pouring from inside Harry's car. Look at his eyes.
He's waiting.
Fixed on the monitor. And an 83.7, it is an improvement, and he knows it. He knew it wasn't going to be. He just held a little bit of hope that there was something that could have been saved.
It's like hoping there's just one more gift under the Christmas tree.
Yeah.
You're just like, I didn't get what I wanted, but maybe there's one more.
There never is.
No, there never is.
Well, we're back on the line. Kevin Pascoli, an 89, puts him into 17th position at the moment. The 2JZ Toyota GR86 screams through the gears as he fires it to angle. It's a nice initiation from Pascoli, the Hungarian. Opens up the throttle and fires the GR86 up the hill to Ahvenisto as he now starts to work his way down the other side, flicks it very wide and beautifully onto the wall. There's a big contact, pops open the tailgate as he now flicks it to the final outside zone onto the throttle as Kevin Pascoli, job done and across the line.
Ooh, man, it's just every run right now feels tense. Like, I know for Kevin Pascoli, sitting in 17th with an 89, he's in a really good spot. I was trying to get some comms to figure out exactly where that, you're locked in. These drivers are definitely going to be in. Not quite there yet to getting that math done.
No.
But I feel like for Kevin, he's in a really, really good spot. It's going to be tough. I think there's only probably 7 drivers or so that can really start to bump these scores around. So I think he's in a pretty good spot. But you feel like a lot of these drivers are pushing the limit a little bit more in a few spots. Kevin getting out to that wall, getting the trunk to pop up. it feels like we're right on the edge of something big.
Yeah, I wonder if he hit the wheel on the wall outside turn 6, because there's 0 overhang on the back of that GR86, and I wonder if the tyre caught the wall and that's what gave the steering a little wobble, and he had to correct ever so slightly. But apart from that, it was a nice run. It had all the characteristics of this is going to be a nice improvement. And it is a nice improvement, a 93.5, and the judge is not fazed by that little wall bobble, and another run that kind of crept in there and caught us unaware, Jacob, puts him in the high up the order as we go back on the line to Alan Hines, who now with a 92.7 sits in 11th position.
Crazy.
And what can the young Irishman do? We awaited to see a big score from him and a big flick and a big flare, and what can he do right now in this S14.9? Oh, and a very strange initiation there, kind of like the car didn't want to react, goes wide there on that outside zone. Now starts to get himself back into the zone as the steering doesn't look right there as he flicks the car, loads it up, fires it towards the wall, flicks it once again to that final outside zone. Oh, he's in the wall again, and that's a big mistake.
Yeah, it felt like he was trying to feel the track out on initiation, understand like how grippy it is.
Yeah, let you know.
Hands up. Oh, sorry, man. Yeah, it really did feel like...
Watch this on initiation.
Yeah, takes him a hot minute
to get on throttle.
Yeah, and then it ends up pushing him wide. Yeah, that's really weird.
Really took him a while to get on throttle. Like the car had no grip, no drive. Something happened, and he had to wait before he got on the throttle. And then when he did, he was already making a mistake.
Yeah, it's really weird on that run-up. You're normally seeing smoke much earlier, and I don't know if maybe the car just wasn't making boost or something. Like it just, but it was still sliding.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was just weird. Really, really strange. I don't know how much they change in between runs, and then coming through here, the car just never bit.
No, it lost a lot of grip into that last outside zone, which goes against everything we were saying earlier on about that outside zone having a load of grip. It will be a 0. Judge is saying that it is unchaseable. And that would have come down to the initiation and the final part of the run where he dived across the track after contact with a wall. Back on the line, though, with Timo Asunma, an 88.7. in 18th position at the moment. The BMW M2 M50 Turbo, 880 horsepower, is in the show. I'd say he's pretty safe up there with a high 80s score. He'd love to improve though in front of his Finnish fans, and that was a wild initiation from Timo Asunma. Maybe watching the rest of the grid to see what they're doing on initiation, and that was bringing all of the flair and the style as Timo Asunma now looks for the outside zone and comes up a little short there, but then doesn't on the wall, flexes the back end of that BMW, looks for the final outside zone, slows the car back on throttle nice and early as Asunma paints the edge of the circuit and across the line.
Yeah, it looked really good off the kick, but unfortunately just not able to keep things rolling. So I don't know if he just over-rotated just a little bit on initiation. Yeah, you can see there he's having to feed the wheel back out, and it means he's going to be too tight on that inside clip. And coming into 3, he's got to pull angle back out, and it's just the arc that he ends up being on. You're kind of V'ing that section as opposed to having a smooth arc, and that is the wrong wheel to be going through that zone. We are looking for the chase. The back front wheel, that makes sense?
The back front wheel.
Yeah, the rear front wheel? the outside front wheel?
The right wheel.
I could circle it.
We're looking for the right wheel.
Yes, the right wheel.
Front. I got it.
See, I got you now.
You've got me. It's contagious.
Yeah.
Front right wheel goes through the center line of those inner zones.
Yeah. I mean, we could. Hey, if we could. I got my pen handy. We could roll back on that shot again and take a look. But yeah, it's. I don't know if this one's going to show it for us here. But yeah, it's going to end up being that the outside one of the wheels. I'll circle it next time.
Timo Asunma just thumbs down there. He kind of knew. Yeah, look at that. An 87.2. Not look, the end of the world.
I'd be happy with it.
Too close, consistent scores. He knows the first score will be the one that keeps him where he is in 18th position at the moment as things sit. As we move to the line to the next driver, an 87.7 for Ite Sada. BMW G87 full carbon fiber bodied car, 2JZ, 1,000 horsepower as he tests the handbrake, slams the car into gear, and it comes off the line for his second qualifying run, 23rd at the moment. He would love an improvement. Not been a visit back to the podium for this young man for over a year now, so What can he do here in Finland? Heavy on the foot brake there, trying to push the back end of that car high up on the top of the hill. Now lets the car wash wide, flicks it down 90 degrees to the wall and flexes all of the body panels as Ite Sada looks for that final outside zone, over-rotates. And now this goes against everything that me and you said.
Well, I wonder if they've gone the other way. They try to loosen the cars up and then might have gotten a bit too far, or we're back. It doesn't look like we're in overcast or any of that. But that's the only thing I can think of. Once again, I mean, we'll unless the driver wants to text me, that's just what it felt like. The track was just so tacked up and so grippy, and then now things have just changed. So yeah, Ite said coming through 3 there, not quite enough. And let's see how this inside looks. So yeah, it's going to be this part of the car. So as you can see, he needs to be further over. That wheel needs to be going through that center section. So it can kind of give you an idea as to how far off that part of the track he is. We can keep rolling on the rest of it. So that's going to be too far inside on that zone.
Yeah, you can see it right there. And that wheel right on the inside of that line, as Jacob was just saying, and getting very close to the cone. And that's not where we want to see that right side front wheel, as me and Jacob was trying to explain earlier on. As we see the rest of the run there, nice onto the wall, flexes the back end of it. It will be a 0, obviously, that big mistake going into outside zone 8. And yeah, gets the car into an over-rotation. Not sure that we can see the sun now just peeking behind those trees, and it is casting a shadow on outside zone 8. So unsure, maybe that is causing an issue. We're down on start line with Dave Egan, who's currently out on the show, 41st position at the moment, a 72.5. Egan needs a big improvement here as he smokes the tyres off the line in this 1,000 horsepower A90 Supra. Big flick to angle for Dave Egan as he puts the car where it needs to be, way high up on that outside zone. Can he creep it back down and collect the inner? He can, as Egan now floats the back end of that Supra where it needs to be. Onto the wall for Egan, a little wobble but stays in it. Dave Egan opens the throttle for the final outside zone, dials on the angle, a little contact but stays in it once again. That's an aggressive drive from Dave Egan.
Yeah, definitely a spicy run.
Yeah.
Definitely a spicy run. So, oh man, that was... it's one of those runs you kind of are holding your breath at the beginning. So Dave getting the tires lit off really early, shoots out nice and wide to that first part, collecting that inside zone, looking pretty good through there. And he looks very stable all the way through, and it feels like he lost a fair bit of grip coming through the rest of it. Really at the last part of the track, and I've never seen Dave go that aggressive at the wall though.
No,
he catches a good handful.
He does catch it, yeah. And this camera angle is going to show you more than anything else. Yeah, you can see a correction there and a tail light being splintered, and you can see, look at the front wheels, has to correct, and does make a couple of corrections after to get that car back where he needs it to be. But for me, really, the only mistake on the run.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and then when you get into 8, so as you can see, catches some there. He's able to keep into it. I think he's going to lose a few points, just kind of going a little bit too deep in that part of it. So tough spot to be in. 72.5 right now is where he's sitting. Needs to be over an 84.
An 84.5, an 86.2 puts him in 30th position at the moment. So a nervous wait for Dave Egan. I will say there are some big heavy hitters out of competition at the moment, so it's going to be a nervous wait for Dave down there with the Drift Games team to see if he does make it to the show. Diogo Correa now sits on the line, hyping himself up as a Portuguese driver in this BMW 3 Series with a Mercedes-Benz M104 turbocharged engine underneath the bonnet, 900 horsepower. Big flick to initiation from Correa, flirts with the wall. The judges didn't like the first run, but he had all the impact and style from me and Jacob. What can he do right now as he fires up the top end of the circuit? It's just very nice for Correa. 90 degrees to the wall, back on throttle nice and early, as Correa's on an absolute mission this weekend to prove the judges he got what it takes across the line. Wow!
Holy, yeah,
Look
and he
at
knows
Correa in the car.
Yeah, he absolutely knows it. I mean, As a driver, you're gonna feel that. You're gonna feel like, hey, I didn't make a lot of corrections. I wasn't having to fight the car. Everything looks good. Big swing out to initiation. Great job coming through that inside zone. Small correction to get to the outside zone. I mean, nothing major though. Like it's just this small little bit of feeding of the wheel, riding just the edge of it. Look at this, just very small adjustments. Great job through there. Catching the wheel, loads it back up through transition. Man,
that's
he's
such a nice run.
on fire right now.
When Diogo Correa, the car and the track are all in perfect harmony, Diogo Correa is capable of a podium. And we've seen it before in Finland. Maybe it's something to do with Finland. But Diogo Correa really does, when he's in the zone, it all just works for him. And I can see this being a huge improvement for Diogo Correa. I mean, I bigged up his last qualifying run. The judges shot me down real quick. I wonder if that's going to be the case this time. Diogo Correa, even himself inside the car, knew it was a better run.
Yeah, it's just, you get into a state. It's a bit of a flow state, and everything just feels like it's coming right to you. And Correa, I mean, has every right in the world to feel that excited.
Certainly so. So Diogo Correa waits inside the car. It's going to be a big score dropping. And a 95 for Diogo Correa puts him into second position at the moment. The Portuguese driver is on a mission this weekend.
Wow. This is, something with him in Finland. We'll have to find out. We'll have to find out.
I'm going to ask him.
Yeah, what is it?
Draw struggle. Could be. Here we go, off the line with Espen Road. As Espen Road now, the Norwegian, in this BMW M50 Turbo back end, holding on for dear life. 700 horsepower, E46 with the body kit on it. Looks like he's getting that car to it. That car doesn't sound healthy though, as it struggles to make the outside zone. And once again, shedding body panels as Espen Road fires that car into the final outside zone. Currently 31st, needs a huge improvement.
It sounded like it was losing horsepower. Yeah, which is massively concerning. Oh man, I know they got very little time on this engine. They put it in, started it up, I think checked the oil and said, okay, we're good. And then came out here and started practicing. So I really do hope for all of us, and Espen especially, that everything is okay. It is good, but it felt like he wasn't able to get the car to place where he wanted it to at most points in the track.
Yeah. It was 5, and then look at 5, shallow. And then he goes for 6, and the car just doesn't seem to have the legs to really get the car on angle to fire through there. And he knows if he loses any momentum, then he's going to be slow. So he shallows up the angle to make sure he gets 7, and then kind of fires the car to 8 and says, well, I'll try my best here on outside zone 8.
Yeah, fingers crossed everything is okay. But just something doesn't feel right.
No.
So that's I'm gonna blame that run on a mechanical for him. We gotta get him some speed tape or something, some zip ties.
We need a bumper budget for Espen Road.
I mean, so far it's gone back into engines.
Well, there we go. An 84.5. It's not an improvement, and he's not happy. You can see him in the car, a little shake of the head. Espen Road stays where he is in 31st place, and that is going to be a very nervous wait for that young man as we go back on the line to Marko Zakaril from the Czech Republic. A 90.5. Well, I'd say he's more than safe. The BMW F22 M2 with the Volkswagen 2-litre engine underneath the bonnet screams into action. 700 horsepower of angry bees, as Jacob likes to call it, fires into the hill of Ahvenisto Circuit, right to the edge of the track. Goes Marko Zakaril as he stands on the accelerator once again, right to the outside edge of outside zone 5. Big flick, but stalls up on an early handbrake now as Zakaril puts the car perfectly in harmony, and outside zone 8 opens the throttle right to the edge of the track and across the line.
As soon as he... Ooh. Okay, I'm hoping that was just the anti-lag for a second. It almost sounded like he was driving through gravel there for a moment. When he's getting into these zones, he's fully committed. Everything seems to be holding quite well. It's just getting the placement down. Great job through that inside zone 2. Coming into 3, could be just a hair deeper through that section, but very smooth, very committed. Yeah, if he's got the car in the zone, he's got it completely nailed. He's not making any massive changes through there. It's just trying to find the exact line that he wants to get in order to find that. And there you go. It gives you a great perspective as to what they're going through, coming through that part of the track. Great job through that section.
I think the little checkup before it was kind of, I think that was the only real chink in the armor for that run for Marco Zaccaril, but apart from that, it was a good run.
Yeah, see him just playing with the throttle there, back onto the clutch and the left foot brake there. As he's just playing with the pedals to find the correct spot, working both of them. Straightens that car back out, and there, just turned off the anti-lag.
Heavy on the foot brake there as he comes down with that inner zone. A 93, moves himself up from 15th into the top 10. 10th position for Marco Zaccaril. Will be happy with that improvement, and he's looking on good form this weekend as he heads into top 32 tomorrow afternoon here in Finland. Look at this, absolutely exciting. A year of heartbreak, I would say, for Marco Zaccaril, of developing and testing a new engine and problems and engine failures, and a little bit of we have issues on the star line. We have a fire underneath the bonnet of David Spossup's S15. So we're just going to try and get word to see if David Spossup, who is in 23rd place at the moment with an 88.2, can run. So it looks like Marcin's got some more equipment. He's got a mirror on a stick.
A mirror. He does.
His arsenal of tools is phenomenal in 2020.
I don't know where he stores them. It's not like there's a big box.
He brings a full toolkit now to Drift Masters. So we are going to, looks like David Spossup is going to run. Looks like Marcin has given him the all clear. And obviously Marcin, the last point of call before these guys leave the line, as David Spossup in this 2JZ S15 fires that car in 920 horsepower. Spossup would love a little improvement here to make his top 32 run tomorrow afternoon a little easier, but what can Spossup do as he looks for outside zone 5, goes a little wide, flicks the car very early onto the wall, but makes it work, and he's now going to be way on the inside when he straightens the car out. No. And he flicks the car for 8, but it's all going wrong. The Spossup, that will be in the judge's hands, and
I can't see that being a score, to be honest.
No, and it isn't. It's going to be a 0. David Kalas looks at me straight away and says, "Yeah, that's not going to work."
Yeah.
I wonder, was there a problem with the engine at the final part of that run?
Yeah. I don't know. I would love to understand exactly what was going on. We heard it was a fire, but then they're, putting fans on it. I'm really not sure.
Well, it might have been a little bit of rubber into the exhaust manifold, which would have caused a fire. So it is an issue with the car, and it will be a 0. That has made it official. And you can see him down there on the line. Look, I wonder if he's... No, it's still moving under its own power. He has got an intermittent issue with that S15.
Is it coolant? Because it's pretty... looks like there's some... Yeah, let's get off of that. It's part of the chart. But
yeah, so he's going to move over to the side as we can see the next driver pulling up to the line, and Marcin will have to get back. It will be Oliver Randalou to take a run at the circuit next. And only 4 zeros scored.
Not bad.
In qualifying, so our driver's really loving this track this weekend. As Marcin just takes another look back, concerned about his fellow Polishman.
Yeah, it's Marcin's got a lot to think about right now. Got a car at the line, got a car on fire.
Yeah.
Got to keep the show rolling. And the hand ringing of Oliver Randalou. It feels like he is just ready for a breakout moment.
Randalou?
Yeah.
Randalou's always ready for a breakout moment.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Every time you see Randalou, he's always got a smile on his face. He's ready for it.
Yeah, but he's super intense too.
He is.
One of those drivers outside of the car, he's very smiley, laughy guy, but just visor goes down and
it's business.
It's all business.
It's business.
Yeah.
Okay, so just hearing over our headsets now that the track are just making sure there's no oil down from David Spossup. It looks like it was rubber on the exhaust manifold.
Okay.
That was what was causing the issue.
Interesting.
And Marcin just saying, hey, you're all good to go. The track is clear. He gives that car a healthy thump on the bonnet to say, it's your time to shine right now. Good car. So Randalou currently sits 9th at the moment with a 93 dead.
Healthy spot, but hoping to pick up a few more points and try and move his way a little bit further.
Well, don't forget the top 8 in qualifying gain points in qualifying. So at the moment, our wildcard driver, Kim Borgland, is currently in 8th place. He has been knocked down the order. Diogo Correa and Pascoli knocking him further down. But the top 8 at the moment, a wild mix of drivers that we don't normally see that high up in qualifying. But again, a new track has opened the door for a lot of these guys as Oliver Randalou now slams through the gears and flicks that BMW to angle, puts the back bumper to the Armco on initiation. Can he hold on to it? Oliver Randalou, as Jacob says, looking for that breakout moment. Could this be the weekend where he finds himself back on a Drift Masters podium? It's unbelievable, but it is a mistake, and it does upset the front wheels as he looks for that final outside zone. Randalou on the throttle and across the line.
Yeah, I think it's important for everyone to know, as much as it's super cool when someone backs into the wall, I want you just touching it. That's it. Yeah. If you see the back end of the car squish in or the trunk pop up or anything like that, it's a pretty good indicator you've gone too far. And Oliver Randalou does an amazing job of touching the wall on initiation. One of just a handful of drivers that have really been able to make that happen. It's a tough spot, but it does mean you're going to do a great job through a good chunk of this track. There we go. Doing a great job through that inside zone, just getting on the inside of it. Coming out here, this is just a bit too much. So
yeah,
having to catch a bunch of left foot brake to bring the car around. Start to see it from what it looks like on the inside. A little disruption there. You just see it holds the car up a little bit.
Holds the car up, on angle,
Popping that car down one more gear. So he wants to keep the angle going, and he's not able to. That's why he's got to hit that left foot brake and bring the car back around. 5th right now. We'll see how things roll out.
Yeah, I know, a 94 for Oliver Randalou, a slight improvement. Judges not too phased. The wall run wasn't as bad as maybe what we assumed, Jacob, but
you're going to lose a little bit.
Still losing a little bit there. But Oliver Randalou still looking absolutely rock solid this weekend. Jane is down in the paddock. She's been walking around finding some people to talk to. And as we sweep up and clear up the rest of our track, Jane's down there with the one and only Chrissy Aalto. Jane.
Chrissy Aalto, you are the very first female driver on top 32 in Drift Masters history. What's your emotion?
Actually, I'm pretty speechless. This was my biggest goal for this season, so I'm, of course, really happy.
I'm also very happy for you. What does this mean for female in drifting?
I hope I can encourage other females to come and join.
I hope it too. I hope there's somebody who's watching this and like, I want to be like Chris. Hey, let's talk about the track a little bit. Are you a fan of the track or?
Yeah, a big fan.
The elevation changes or the fast, or what's the best part of the track?
Best part is the first part. I really like the hill and the speed and everything, yeah.
Thank you so much and congratulations, and we'll see you on top 32.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Jane. Yeah, two very excited Finnish ladies down there in the paddock. Jane absolutely ecstatic for Chrissy Aalto, who does look like she's secured her spot in top 32 for tomorrow, and she loves the track, and so do all of us, and so do all of our adoring fans who have come out today to support Drift Masters here. Look at this, absolutely packed out hill here, and even more people through the gate tomorrow. Sold out is round 4 of Drift Masters here at Ahvenisto Race Circuit in Finland, the first ever time. We go back on the line to a man that looked absolutely unstoppable in his first qualifying run. An 88.5 has knocked Benedictus Gerber down to 21st position, and he won't be happy with that. He'll want to be up the top end. As Gerber now in the 2JZ G42 BMW comes off the line, 900 horsepower, screams to the tarmac as Gerber fires that car in, and straight away lights up the tyres on the back of that car, but he's a little shallow on outside zone 3 as he now fires his way down. Oh, and a big understeer, and he shuts the car down.
It sounded weird. It sounded like the wastegate was just absolutely wide open when he came up the hill. I don't know if you caught that.
No, I didn't.
I don't know if we can replay sound, oh, okay. So we're hearing it might be the anti-lag system that it was, but it sounded like the anti-lag was on as he was on throttle as well. It just sounded really off. So ends up shutting it down here. Hopefully nothing major. Stays off the racing line, and we're gonna see a big puff of smoke from under the hood. Nope, that's good. It's always the fear.
Yeah, yeah, that will be a 0 and confirmed by our judges. An incomplete run there for Benedictus Gerber, a man that a lot of people had their eye on this weekend to maybe make some moves in the championship. Well, he'll stay where he is in 21st. We go back on the line to Jason Benet as we see Benedictus Gerber there. He's going to make his way back into the paddock. As Jason Benet now out of the top 32 in 36th place, an 83.7 in that 2JZ Subaru BRZ 950 horsepower. The Frenchman, again, another driver that looked incredible in practice, but that means nothing right now when it comes down to qualifying. A little scrappy on that first qualifying run. It was a very uncharacteristic of Benet.
Yeah, and his practice looked so good.
Yeah.
Like yesterday, today, everything he said. I was a little shocked by it.
And then he goes off the line and through the gears. We jump on board with Jason Benet as he flicks that car to angle and now starts to throw down. Benet with an incredible initiation. Can he make this one hold? It's very clean through the first 3 zones as he picks up inside zone 4 and outside zone 5. Benet is on a mission. The Frenchman wants it more than ever as Benet fires that car towards the wall outside zone 8, stands on the accelerator and absolutely lights off the tires.
Yeah, just a little too wide to that section of the track, but aggressive. I mean, that is definitely one way to put it. He is absolutely just in full kill mode. Like,
I was just going to say, he's kill mode.
Yeah. I was trying to think of the best way to put it, but he's just so aggressive right now, and it's just, he's been unlocked. Like, I mean, even from the beginning of this year, last year, it just feels very different, where it's almost like he doesn't care. I just want to go drive. I want to drive my drive. I don't want to worry about what anybody else is thinking. I don't want to listen to what these notes are. I'm just going to go out and throw down as hard as I can, and it can look really, really good on him. For outside zone 8, though, unfortunately, overcommits just a bit, and I do think he got the back end of the car in there. We'll find through 6, looking good. Touch wide, unfortunately, through 7, and right near the end of it, it looked like he caught the wheel off.
Just misses the wall.
We're gonna know now. Yeah.
Yeah, I think he just misses the wall, but he definitely goes
right there. See,
one wheel. Yeah.
Yeah, it's tough too because he's got black wheels.
Yeah.
And he's in shadow, so it becomes a tricky spot to understand exactly where those wheels are. You know, that bit of a strategy. I know drivers have decided which color of wheel to use to make it a little bit harder to see
for the judges. Yeah.
I mean, we have rules to make sure there's a different colored part. There we go.
A 92 on the board for Jason Benet. He takes himself from out of the show to into the show and well into the show. Puts himself into 15th position. We go back on the line and the finisher standing once again because it is, of course, Laurie Heimland now on the line with an 84.2, 34th place at the moment for Heinen. Now he needs an 84 or more. Espen Road sits on the drop zone with an 85, and above him, Dave Egan with an 86.2. So Laurie Heinen now really needs to pull out all the stops as he flicks that BMW towards that initiation, and now opens up the throttle as he pushes the back end of that F22 right to the edge of the circuit. 900 horsepower. Of BMW power screaming as he puts it onto the wall, looks for the final outside zone. What can Heimland do in a borrowed car from his fellow Finn?
It's going to be close. It's going to be really, really close. Yeah. There were some moments of brilliance there for the Audi, but there's a few where I'm like, just a bit too much. I mean, can't stress this enough. A vehicle he's only had a handful of laps in, borrowed from a friend, and just wants to make sure that he's doing the home country proud here. It looks good. He's fully committed all the way through it, but there's a few spots in here that just, he's got to pull some angle out. Coming through 5 to try and set him up through 6. You can see there, catches just I wouldn't even say understeer, but he's just trying to set the car up for the wall run, and a beautiful touch of the rear end to the wall. See it here, look at that. That's pretty well done in my
I was just
books.
going to say, that's absolutely beautiful.
Yeah,
I'm
and
just trying to see
just
where he is.
inside through 7, and then that does not lead to a great result through 8.
It pushes him wide.
Yeah.
And he goes a wheel over there and kind of does flex the back end of that BMW on the wall.
Yeah. The hard part is every car handles so differently, and maybe he would have expected, his car with his engine layout to have caught. Yeah. And when you've got a big V8 like that, you touch the throttle, it's got instant torque, it instantly bites in, and you can dig yourself out of that situation. Something with the turbo, you're gonna have to wait half a second.
Oh, and it's an 83.2, and the judges don't like it. And he stays where he is, out of the show. We lose Laurie Heinonen in qualifying, and Laurie Heinonen, he just says goodbye, and he waves and he says, that'll be the last time you see me on the broadcast this weekend. And wow, what does he do for Riga in just over a week's time?
Who knows?
Well, back on the line we go. Red Bull's very own Kuba Brzezinski. Jakub Brzezinski comes off the line in this B58 powered GR86. Oh wow, what a big initiation from the Polishman. As Brzezinski now works his way up the hill, another car that sounds like it's struggling to get up the hill with the grip that's been laid down, the rubber that laces the circuit. Brzezinski buys that car nice and wide. Can he loop it around to that final outside zone? And he can, but he's on throttle late as Brzezinski now stands on it and across the line.
It feels better. It feels better than the last run, but there's still a few spots where it just feels just out of the ordinary for him.
Well, it's an 82.2 at the moment, and it needs to be at least an 85. I'm going to say an 86 plus.
Yeah.
And I said north of 86 to be in the show.
Okay,
that's where we're at.
No, you're right.
Hey, I don't want to show off.
I was going to say it earlier, but you'd stop me, so I was going to say 86.
I knew you were going to say it, so I had to get in there first.
For Kuba, though, I don't know. I honestly don't know, and it's not just me being dramatic here. I don't know if it feels like it's better than an 86. There's just a lot of hesitation.
Well, I mean,
zones and
Laurie Heinonen was going wide.
Yeah.
Hitting the wall. Brzezinski was going shallow.
I know, but
so does that equal it out? Are you looking at the same score?
Clips, it's not the argument I want to be having with you right now. Look at wide through that clip.
Yep.
I don't like it. I just don't like it, and it sucks because Kuba's such a phenomenal driver, but it never felt like this track came to him from practice moving on. It just never felt like he found the right groove. And it happens. It happens to drivers.
And look, and we say this about a new track, it takes a while for these guys to find the groove. Is it going to be an improvement for Brzezinski, or the judge is going to say, you two guys don't know what you're talking about?
Maybe.
Yeah, we don't sometimes.
Sometimes.
And here we go, an 88.2. It is an improvement, puts him into 24th position. He does get himself into the show. I'm going to say he's comfortable there, looking at who's out at the moment and who's coming up and where he sits. I'm talking about out. We thought he was completely out this weekend. Juha Rittinen, an 87.7, currently sits in 27th position. We didn't think he was going to be able to make it out in competition, but he is back and he is fighting as he flicks that car to initiation. As Juha Rittinen opens up the throttle and lights off the tyres on the back of this 2JZ Toyota GR86. Rittinen doing a good job there on outside zone 5, flicks the car down towards the wall, flexes the back end, see the wheel touch the wall, and did it upset him, or can he keep into it as he rotates the car to outside zone 8, tags the wall again, stands on the throttle and across the line.
I thought he debeated there for a moment, just the way the car was moving. And
yeah.
I don't know if our drone is able to capture that. So this is the car from Ireland with just a small update to the head in the engine. Originally, he had the other vehicle built that was supposed to come out and do the second half of the season. Unfortunately, he lost an engine in that. Much faster for him just to drive the 15 minutes back to the shop and swap vehicles out, as opposed to trying to do an engine swap. Yeah, really weird. Everything else about this run felt quite good. Very smooth, very fluid. Look at just a beautiful wall touch coming through on 6. Transitions, everything else looks good, but just when he came into 8, I'm wondering, is there a bunch of rubber built up on 8? When you've got the wall, you've got the marbles, they're kicking out. I know what these tires look like, picking up with a ton of rubber. I'm wondering if through there's just a bunch of buildup that's kind of bouncing out, and it's just a marble patch through there. You can kind of see it.
Yeah.
You can kind of see the bits and dots.
He does go very wide, though.
Yeah.
He does put the back end into the wall. Did that affect his line? Did it force him out of that zone? And that's why he stood on the accelerator and the left foot brake, trying to push that car where it needed to be.
Oh, look at that movement in the rear wheel, too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Lot going on there. I just think there's just bits of marble at the edge of 8 that have hit the wall and bounced back out. And you catch it even for a split second, it means you're going to be back deeper into the marbles, and it's incredibly difficult to dig your way out of it. See what the judges think.
Yeah, judges are deliberating this one for a hot minute.
Both of us nerding out. You can see all that rubber buildup flying out of the rear end of the car.
Yeah, there we go. And not an improvement at 82 dead. And Rittinen smiles and he says, well, look, I'm 26th for the moment. I can surely hold on to a spot in the show tomorrow. It's going to be a wait, but we're going to see. We go back on the line to Jack Shanahan. A 92.5 on his first qualifying run.
That's 14th.
Yeah, and that's 14th. Yeah, I just looked up and see that that's 14th place at the moment for 92.5. Shanahan fires that car in. A 2JZ Toyota GT86 comes screaming around Ahvenisto, up the hill and down the hill. As Shanahan looks to put on a masterclass right now. He's going to want a top qualifying. He throws the car backwards on the throttle nice and early. Shanahan into that final outside zone. Gets a little deep, tags the wall across the line.
I was hoping he was going to go for it. A little 360 to wrap things up. I like it. Yeah, it comes out of the gates. Big initiation. It doesn't preload the car a lot. Doesn't do a big weight transfer. Just, I feel like a big old clutch kick to get that car to come out. And you can really see the view, that high drone view. I mean, it gives you a great idea of what the line looks like. He's coming down the mountain. Big handbrake there, and he doesn't unwind it a lot. Like, he really commits to that angle. That might be over 90.
I was going to say, that's over 90.
Yeah, we'll find out here. That's over 90.
Wow.
By a couple degrees. Oh, here we go. Another
Look at
one.
this.
Yeah.
Wow.
If it isn't, it's right up. But then look at the inside zone. Fantastic job.
And he stays on track into 8 as well. He
doesn't back
just
out.
makes the mistake there.
Right there.
Whoa, that's a big run from Jack Shanahan.
I mean, he probably won the internet. Will he win qualifying? I don't know.
That's going to make it to the highlight reel.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Yeah, there's a few backy drivers out there that are taking note. Won't name names, but you know who you are.
You know who you are. You're watching along.
I'm getting a DM later. Like, I could do better. Well, if you think you can do better, sign up. We're always welcome for wild cards.
Full looking out of the side glass of that GT86.
Look at the rubber coming off the front tires.
Yeah.
That is, yeah. That's an advertisement for a lock kit if I've ever seen one. Tucking tire behind the fender. I love it. Absolutely love it. We're just going to keep... Oh, that's a 360.
Yeah, this is the 360 at the end. Yeah.
Solid 360.
Ever the showman is Jack Shanahan as he sits in his car smiling. There we go, a 95.5.
Yeah,
puts him into second position. Wow. Currently tied with Mika Keski-Korpi now. We'll get into the thick of it in a minute, but we go back to the line. Nasser Al-Habali currently in 9th place with a 93.5 on his first qualifying run. The tyres smoke on the back of the supercharged LS 400Z as he fires it up the hill. A lot of corrections on the steering there as he worked that car to angle, trying to put it where it needs to be. As Nasser Al-Habali now puts that car right to the edge of the circuit, flicks it down. Nice angle on the wall as Nasser Al-Habali stands on the accelerator, puts it into that final outside zone, on the line and across the line.
Yeah, does a good job of managing 8 and a nice little rear bumper hit there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it disrupted the car, but thankfully when you've got that much angle going into it, all it's going to do is shoot you towards that inside clip. So more of a faint initiation there. Gets the car loaded up kind of wide, well, pretty wide. That's going to be a pretty decent deduction there for that inside zone. Great commitment all the way through this part of the track, though. He's not taking a lot of angle out. He's not adding more than he needs to. There you go. That is about as perfect as you're going to get through an inside zone. That is exactly where you want to be. Double check the judges there, seem happy with that. And that's where we catch it.
Yeah, you kind of almost want to get that inner zone between the wheels.
Yeah, yeah. You're looking for that trailing wheel to be on that inside line.
Yeah.
Another great example of it there. So, yeah. Judges impressed with it, too, on the throttle commitment. They're happy.
Yeah, I'm looking at this and I'm saying
They're
this
happy
could
boys
be
over here.
I mean, look, he's already in 9th with a 93.5. I'm just saying.
We almost need a camera so you can just see how excited they get about runs. Like, as much as their job is...
If this is more than a 95.5, or if it is a 95.5, Nassau Hobali would top qualifying because his first qualifying score is higher than Jack's.
Right, right.
That's how it comes down to.
Okay.
So that's what we're kind of looking at. 95.5 is first place.
Yeah, because he's...
93.5 is his first qualifying score. At the moment, Mika Keski-Korpi only holds on to first place in qualifying because he hasn't had his second qualifying run.
Right.
That has to be more than a 92.5 to take qualifying.
Okay.
Okay? 93.7.
Not quite.
It's a slight improvement, but it isn't. I was trying to build the excitement. The judges shot me down.
You're a dreamer, and I love it.
I know. Hey, you know, you gotta have these dreams. We go back on the line to Connor Falvey. 90.2 is enough for 17th place at the moment. This is wild here at Drift Masters as he comes off the line and through the gears. Connor Falvey flicks that car to angle, and that car doing the work right now and putting in work as he puts it right to the edge of the circuit. Connor Falvey, ever such a slight correction on the steering wheel as he looks for outside zone 5. Again, a small correction, big angle on the handbrake, takes the back bumper off on the wall as Falvey looks for the final outside zone. He wants a big improvement. He keeps it clean. Look at that wheel on the line and across the line.
There you go. Yeah.
That's fast as well.
I think he's feeling it.
He's in the groove.
Yeah, I agree. I 100% agree. I want to learn how you snap transition a car like that. Like it's so good, it's so accurate. Comes through initiation, looks good, coming up that hill climb. He's a bit of a correction there, but he does a good job of utilizing that correction properly to make sure that he's fulfilling that zone. Make the correction between zones, not in the zone.
Not in the zone, yeah.
And then left foot brakes as he comes around. Look at that. It's like he's parking the car. Just hand over, back in the trailer in. Looks good. Handbrake through into 8. That little touch of left foot brake there. Does a good job, though. It holds him in the right spot.
Yeah, it does, yeah.
Man.
It does.
You never...
For me as well, 8 is perfect.
Yeah.
He's one of the only drivers in the last 4 runs, I'd say, that didn't drop a wheel over, didn't put the bumper on the wall.
Yeah. His car setup feels fantastic right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just, at no point is he fighting it. It's doing what he wants it to do, you know. You can kind of tell when there's not these like big corrections where you're trying to fight what the car is doing. The correction is, hey, I didn't put it in the correct spot.
Yeah.
I'm not fighting what the car wants me to do. So it's listening. It's very compliant, I think is the best way to put it. There we go.
There we go. Falvey down there, awaiting that score to drop in, as we said. Oh, it's a 95.5, third place in qualifying. And Falvey scored just not enough to push Jack Shanahan down, so he does move himself into third place in qualifying. Wow, what a score for that young man. He's on a flyer, but a bad score for this young man on his first qualifying run. Kevin Purser is currently out of the top 32, and 84 puts him in 36th position. He needs a huge improvement. What can he do? As he comes off the line, the Estonian fires that car to angle as he flicks it up and now drives that BMW up the hill. The M50 Turbo screaming as he comes down the other side of the hill. A much nicer line this time. The car looks like it reacts way better as Kevin Purser looks for the final outside zone. A dab of the handbrake, back on the throttle as Purser puts it to the edge of the circuit and across the line.
Well, the unfortunate part now is we got to start remembering who is in the drop zone. Right now, it is Dave Egan in 32nd overall in qualifying as we take a look at Kevin Purser, who's got to score more than an 86.2. That's the magic number he's looking for right now, and unfortunately, it's the number that Dave is facing. This is a really good run, though, from Kevin Purser. There's a lot going on. His ability to flick around is quite good. More style than I've seen from him in a really long time.
The first run was very uncharacteristic.
Right.
It looked like he'd made the car very hard to drive.
Yes.
For qualifying.
Yeah, and so the thing is, like, when you're making a really fast car when you've got a hill, it might do a great job coming up the hill because you've got that speed, you've got all that grip built in. It's going to climb the hill really quick. When you come to the downhill section, it often means you're going to overshoot a lot of different parts of the track. And I think they've taken a little bit out of it and said, okay, this is going to be easier for you to drive, a little bit more fun. You can tell just with how he's able to throw so much angle through 6. It feels like a big adjustment.
Well, I've just had a look.
Okay.
We're going to get this score first, because this is a nervous wait. A 92.7 for Kevin Passer puts him into the show. The Estonian relief as the weight lifts off the shoulder, puts him in 14th position. Right. That means Dave Egan, unfortunately, is out of the top 32. But what that does mean now is it puts Harry Kerr and Karim Hani both 31st and 32nd. Nicholas Bertans and Pavel Korpolinski are the only 2 drivers now that can affect the top 32 grid. Harry Kerr and Karim Hani wait to find out, can Nicholas Bertans put it into top 32 as he screams the V8 BMW Eurofighter to angle. The Latvian driver works his way around, but shallow on outside zone 3. This is not looking good as he now starts to get himself back into the rhythm. Cleaner on the wall this time for Nicholas Bertans. He needs an 86.2 or more to get himself into the show. He's shallow on 8 and across the line.
Yeah, it's so hard to speculate on this because I know what I want to say. I know what I want to happen. I just don't know if it really came together for him. Initiation looks good. Inside clip is looking good. As he starts to come out, though, I mean, I think he gets through that outside zone just a little bit too shallow, and it means that he's going to be really tight on the inside clip. Great job coming through this part of the track. He almost overshoots the next part, though.
Yeah.
It feels like he's just on the edge with this car all the time. Inside zone looking good. I mean, maybe it is better than I originally thought. On first look, I was really worried for Nick Nack. But as I'm starting to see these zones come together, I don't think it's that bad. Maybe it could have been a little deeper through 8.
Well, we're going to see. Yeah, I think it was more of a midline. Oh, yeah, it was very
right
shallow on
edge.
8, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Judge is taking a pretty hard look here, especially on the inside zones, making sure that Nick Nack was able to collect those. We'll find out here what the score is for Nicholas Bertans. You'd think, considering Riga's his home track, that this would suit him really well.
Yeah.
But it just hasn't yet.
It just hasn't clicked for him, unfortunately.
Yeah.
I think there's been a few things this weekend. It just hasn't clicked for him. We're going to find out if it's enough. It's an 86.7.
Oh, wow.
He knocks Harry Kerr out of qualifying and he puts Karim Hani on the drop zone. That means he is safe for top 32, but just about.
Wow.
As we see down there, we're on the line. Yeah, so we're just finding out now that this is going to be Mika Keski-Korpi. Dwayne McKeever, we're hearing, had a puncture in the burnout box and won't make it to the line for his qualifying run. Look, he is safe, 5th position with a 94.7, but we now jump to our first place qualifier at the moment. This now all depends on whether Mika Keski-Korpi can score a 92.5 or more to hold on to it for the moment.
Because it is the first tiebreaker is your other run.
Yeah, so in second place is Jack Shanahan. His first qualifying run was a 92.5. That means that Keski-Korpi needs a 92.5 or more to hold on to first place to top qualifying in Finland.
Wow. Okay. No pressure.
No pressure at all.
Yeah.
If not, Jack Shanahan will overtake him.
Interesting. Yeah,
I believe.
Yeah.
I'm not being told off in the headset.
No one has yelled at us.
No one's yelled at me yet that I'm wrong, so I must be right. Well, here we go. He's off the line. What can Keski-Korpi do? The young Finnish driver would love to top qualify in his home track. Wow, what an initiation. Absolutely incredible for Mika Keski-Korpi. The homeland, the Finnish fans are screaming for him in the background. This young man is on a flyer this weekend. He's perfect on the outside zones. And on this, he over-rotates. Mika Keski-Korpi throws away the second qualifying run, going all guns blazing.
Speechless.
Unbelievable. We're waiting for the score to drop in. Will this change qualifying? Will this change how the lay of the land sits? This had all of the ingredients to be way up there.
Yeah, wow. It just looks so good up until that point. I don't know where he lost it. And this another beautiful view to show you just what that that downhill looks like. He just went for a massive backy and wasn't able to bring it all the way around. Oh, man.
Wow.
Hey, went for it. It's going out on your shield.
He went for it.
Yeah. Look at this.
Now, first place isn't safe either. If this does yeah, he went for it.
Yeah.
I'm just going to say, first place still isn't safe because there are still people that can affect the order. We're going to find out. Score drops in. It will be a 0, we know, but it puts him into 3rd place in qualifying. The second qualifying run wasn't enough. That does move Jack Shanahan into 1st place for the moment. We go back on the line. Peter Wiensek. Well, before we fire him off the line for his 2nd qualifying run, let's have a word from Peter Wiensek.
Ireland wasn't the best round for us, let's say. So we need to face already very good opponents in top 32. This time it was Conor Falvey. And we lost our battle simply. He was better. And that was the weekend for us. So it was a tough pill to swallow. I hope that this experience helped us to focus a bit more.
Well, he talks about Conor Falvey, and Conor Falvey will currently be a thorn in his side because he sits 2nd in qualifying at the moment. And Peter would love to try and take him down, but what can he do as he comes off the line? It is a 90 at the moment, in 19th position. Wiensek fires in the A90 Supra, stands on the accelerator. That 2JZ screams with 1,000 horsepower, beating through the tyres to the tarmac as Wiensek puts it right to the edge of the circuit. Big flick towards the wall, flexes the back end of the Supra as he dials on even more angle and fires it to outside zone 8. Opens up the throttle, puts it right to the edge of the circuit and across the line.
It's a pretty run.
It's a very pretty run.
Only note off the bat is the way he's decelling into 8. That's it. It's the only part that seems a little awkward. Not saying it's bad, just all of this run is very fluid, right? Good initiation, great job through inside zone 2. Get out to 3, has to add a bit more angle on. Might have lost a couple of angle points through that section. Very committed all the way through into 5. Drops just 1 wheel there. Maybe 2, definitely 1. 1, okay, cool. And then transitions out to 6. That is an incredible wall touch there. But yeah, it's just as he enters into 8, it feels like he really woes the car up, hammers on the brakes, drops the anchor, or whatever you want to call it, and I don't know. It just seems a little strange. Other than that, phenomenal run, and I'm just picking that. It's hard to tell with the drone, so you don't really get the sense of speed there. Other than that, though, it's a phenomenal run. It's a really, really good run. And we know Piotr is able to do this kind of stuff. When he knows he's got to step up to the plate, when he knows he needs a big run, he will do it. The question is now, is this top qualifier? Where does this put him? Because the pack is so tight in the top section. It's a great run.
It's a 95.7. Wiensek tops qualifying and goes above everybody else. Wiensek now sits at the top of the table in Finland, and it starts to unfold for the finish. The dream starts to fall away, but there's an Irishman on the line who says, this weekend has my name on it.
Yeah, well, he said he wanted more focus. I think he's got it.
He certainly has. James Dean comes off the line with a 93, which is good enough for 13th place at the moment as Dean fires the Ford Mustang RTR towards the Armco, opens up the throttle. Now Dean starts to flirt with the edge of the circuit as the Irishman puts the car right where it needs to be, looks for outside zone 5, and it's chopped down as he comes down to the wall, flexes it, goes to over 90 degrees. Dean is on a flyer as he looks for the final outside zone. He stands on the throttle, and it's job done for James Dean.
This feels very much like Piotr's run. Very similar.
Much.
And I mean, with a bit more added flair borrowed from Jack Shanahan, it feels like the combination of those two.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Incredible stuff from James Dean in that Ford Mustang RTR. But what's the score as it
He's watching
across?
it too.
A 95.2. It is an improvement, but it's only good enough for 5th place at the moment. That unfazes Viensek. Viensek up the top of the order in 1st place. You go back onto the start line to the man that's 2nd in the championship, a 94.2, sits in 8th place at the moment. The Toyota GT86 with Red Bull on the door leaves the line. The 2JZ screams, 950 horsepower, lights off the tyres as he flicks it to angle. Shanahan corrects the angle, but now stands on it and starts to put that car right to the edge of the circuit here at Ahvenisto in Finland as he puts it deep again on outside zone 5. Big angle, a flick, holds on to it as Shanahan looks to bring the flair and the style to the final outside zone. Wheel on the line and job done for Shanahan.
These are all looking stunning. Like, we're just in such a special place right now where all of these runs look incredible, and it's just going to be the half point, 1 point here or there that's going to be the difference maker. I mean, how many 95s do we have right now? 6? Yeah, 6 95s or above.
Yeah,
that's crazy, but it just shows you how tight this entire pack is. And I mean, 1 point there possibly for putting a wheel on that zone, but I mean, Piotr did the exact same thing, and he's leading the top. That shows you how fast that transition is too. Look at this, big angle, perfect scrape across the wall. I don't know, I just, there's nothing really to continue. Oh, that inside zone though.
Yeah.
Caught a bit of understeer coming off the wall. So that's gonna be, what, maybe 4 or 5 line points right there. Tough call. Everything else looks incredible though. Yeah,
wow.
I'm hearing some,
Hearing some
whispers. Hearing some numbers.
Try not to listen.
I know.
I like the surprise.
You just get to be a spectator like the rest of them. Man. Yeah, just that one inside zone might be the difference between top spot and, I mean, really it could drop down to 9th or 10th.
Yeah.
With how many points off that could be. I don't know though. We'll have to see.
Well, looks like the score is dropping in an 89.5. Judges not liking it.
Yeah.
A few mistakes creeping in there. And
4.5 points there just online. Yeah. And angle, yeah. I mean, this is the hard part after seeing Jack throw over 90 degrees.
Over 90 degrees.
How do you give someone a perfect score there?
Well, here we go. The last man out of qualifying. Can Kareem Harney hold on to it? Can Pavel Korpelinski get himself into top 32? Kareem Harney sits in the paddock with his head in his hands and he waits to see everything he's worked for is in the hands of this man right here, the man who leads the championship, the Polishman, Pavel Korpelinski, puts that car around Ahvenisto Circuit, looking for that outside zone. He flicks it towards the wall. This is much cleaner from Pavel Korpelinski as he puts it to the final outside zone, stands on the handbrake, gets into it, opens up the throttle and across the line.
I think the surgeon's back in the office.
He looks way more comfortable.
Yeah, this is a really, really clean run, and for Big Karim, I can feel the stress building because you watch something like that and you're immediately like, oh man, this is a very clinical run here from Pavel Korpelinski. He's doing everything he needs to. He's back to the form we were expecting. Not a ton of angle, but it's clean. And when you've got 60 points for line, that's what you need to focus on. Maybe you can let up a little bit here on style and angle, but you've got to make sure you're collecting so many more of those points. The smoke just sitting and billowing in the cabin of that car. Holy, I can feel the tension right now in Hani's pits.
Yeah, it's a nervous way for Kareem Harney. An 86.5.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. You don't want to get too far ahead of yourself, but this is a really good run.
Yeah.
And he's whatever jitters he had for holding the entire championship in his hands are probably gone now, and he just went back to work.
Yeah, and I think that's what it needed. He needed a reset.
Yeah.
This is just work. Let's just get back into it.
That's what you have to do, though. You can't think about being the top of the championship. You just have to go, I have to remember how I got here, why I'm at the top, and what I need to do to make sure I'm holding that top spot. Is it enough to top qualifying? I don't think so. Is it enough to get in the show? That's the big question. Man, the debris on the track, all this is a big breath moment.
Well, we await the score to drop in for Pavel Korpelinski as the judges input their score. This is going to mean make or break for both of them. It's either going to be enough for Korpelinski or it's going to be too much for Karim Hani. Who will take it through? The last spot in top 32 hangs in the balance between these two guys. It's a 95.7. Wow. Pavel Korpelinski gets himself into the show, into second place in qualifying. And the Polishman holds on to a dream of a championship. But for Karim Hani, the dream of competing here tomorrow is over, and we won't see the Egyptian. But Pavel Korpelinski takes second in qualifying, and Karim Hani applauds him and he says it was well deserved.
If you're going to go out to the guy that kicks second.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he's tied for first technically. It's just his second run, or his first run, being only an 83 means that he drops down into second. Man, it just proves, though, too, that having a fantastic line will take you so much further than anything else.
Exactly that. Well, here we go. This is qualifying results list. Peter Viensek tops qualifying here in Finland, and alongside him his fellow countryman Pavel Korpelinski sits in second place. In third is the Irishman Conor Shanahan, and in fourth Connor Falvey.
Yeah, wow. Yeah, this is absolutely crazy. Man, what a day of qualifying.
What a qualifying session. Mika Keski-Korpi ends up in fourth place after the results. In fifth place, sorry, once all the points are dropped in, and we can see as we go down, this is how the results list sit further down the order. And I was just looking at the scores, how far down we're, 94s, 90s. I was just trying to see 20th place with a 91.7.
And I mean, look at all of our wild cards in here as well. So many Finnish drivers. I mean, this country's got to be proud of everybody that's been representing them here today and what they're going to do tomorrow. Paljon spetokio. Man, great job from everybody.
Yeah, certainly is. Well, there we go. Nicholas Bertans rounds out our top 32. Mads Andersson in there as well. Jakob Pashkonski gets himself in the show. Clint Van Oort, a little bit of redemption after a poor round 3, gets himself into a top 32. He'll be relieved with that. And we're going to see the guys that didn't make it into the show. A tough weekend for a lot of drivers.
Yeah, and unfortunately here the drivers not making it in. Karim Hani just getting knocked out. Harry Kerr, Dave Egan, Espen Rode, Enver Haskasap, Lauri Heinonen, George Christoforou, and Ville Kaukonen.
Yeah, it's been a tough weekend for a lot of drivers. This new track proving very tough. We lose Konstantin Shurenko and, of course, Juha Poitolasco with that engine failure. It is a 90 at the moment. And this is a take and a look back at that first place qualifying run. Jacob, unbelievable.
Yeah, it's an amazing run. And it's one of those, like, as we're watching it, we're just trying to kind of look for any imperfection in it, and it really wasn't anything. There's just these small points here or there. That's that big left foot brake I was talking about that seemed a little bit awkward, and maybe that was the point. But it shows once again that going for a perfect line is going to carry you. We love seeing, big angle and things like that, but it's just not how things go. And there is the driver's standings as they sit right now. Pavel Korpelinski holds that top spot, 230 points. Connor Shanahan, 219. James Dean, third, 218.
Yeah, and Pavel Korpelinski just took a whole bunch of points before even heading into top 32 away from Connor Shanahan and extends his lead. And Pavel Korpelinski now, the fight is on.
Yeah.
The fight is on because everybody now behind him is going to be hunting down the Polishman. As we can see, we tumble down our order of our championship standings. And tomorrow is going to be very interesting.
Yeah, I mean, we're now halfway through.
Yeah, we certainly are. Well, Jane is down there with our first place qualifier, Peter Viensek.
Congratulations, Peter. Your very first qualifying win for this season. How happy are you?
Yeah, I'm super happy. I cannot express how I feel, especially after a poor result in Ireland. It means a lot for me, for the whole team. A big thanks to the whole team because the car was performing flawlessly through the whole weekend. So we've been able to practice well, let's say, and get to the qualification with a good approach, with a good mindset, let's say. And it feels amazing.
Can you tell, what's your opinion about the track? It's your first time here.
Yeah, it's definitely exciting. It's great to see so many fans in here. Hello, guys. It's so good to perform in front of you. And can't wait for tomorrow. We'll be opening the pack, so it's definitely an honor, but also a challenge. But let's not think about that for a second and just enjoy the moment.
I'm happy, and I'll let you enjoy. Thank you so much, and congratulations. See you tomorrow, and back to you guys.
Thank you very much, Jane. Congratulations, Peter. What an incredible qualifying run. 95.7.
I know.
I mean, there's nothing in it.
Two of them.
A 95.5 from Keski Korpi, held on to it for a long time.
Yeah.
0.2. Well, here we go. This is what we've got to look forward to tomorrow. This is the battle tree all the way through tomorrow till the final. Who will take it?
Oh, look at this. There's going to be
No, I won't. Forget about that. Bertan versus Fiensek, the first battle of the day.
I was saying the Finnish fans are going to be a little upset. Mika Keski-Korpi, Juha Rintanen.
Yeah.
It's a fun one.
Yeah, Jarkko Jula versus Chrissy Aalto.
Oh, man.
Two Finnish on Finnish battles.
Paul Korpelinski, Clint Van Oort, battle of surgical precision, and then the Wild Dutchman. Like that's going to be so much fun.
It certainly is, yeah. Jack Shanahan take on Mads Anderson. Where is Connor Shanahan, though? Where Ite Seda? So he's in that corner of the bracket with some heavy hitters as well. So
yeah.
Connor Shanahan.
Connor Falvey.
Connor Falvey. Connor Shanahan is in a corner of a bracket with some heavy hitters.
Yeah, if the big thing now, if you're building out your bracket at home, is that championship race and how it all lines up. There's some really fun ones in here. Kim Björkland and Jason Benet. I think that's going to be another fun one. I'm so pumped for this.
It's going to be an incredible day. So don't miss a thing tomorrow. We will be back tomorrow exclusively on Red Bull TV, live from here at Ahvenisto Race Circuit in Finland for round 4 of Drift Masters. From me, Jacob and Jane, we'll see you all tomorrow. Take care.